Fort Bridger was established in 1843 to service immigrant traffic by Jim Bridger and his partner Louis Vasquez. For the next century, this area known as the Bridger Valley served as a crossroads for the Oregon and California Trail, the Mormon Trail, the Pony Express route, the Transcontinental Railroad, and the Lincoln Highway. Inside the valley reside a couple of towns by the name of Mountain View and Lyman, with just 6 miles of two-lane road separating these settlements. Also dotting the map along the Bridger Valley Trail are Yeri, Robertson, Fort Bridger, and Milburn. Together, these communities form a strong co-op with lifelong friendships and bonds that span across the entire valley. But tonight, we'll have to put all that on hold.
The Bridger Valley Bowl is live on mylocalradio.com with a simulcast on KNYN 99.1 FM. No matter where you reside in the valley, it's time to pick a side. Mountain View or Lyman. One of the greatest rivalries in Wyoming is back for another edition only on your home for Bridger Valley sports. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Reese Auto Service, West Star Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, Trona Valley Community Federal Credit Union, Blacks Fork Dental, Evanston Regional Hospital, Plains Tire, the Come On In of Casper, and Auto Farm Chevrolet. With kickoff coming up at the top of the hour, let's head to the My Local Radio broadcast booth to join Jake Hibbard for the Jaegers Auto Body pregame show.
Welcome into one of the biggest Fridays every year in Uinta County. October 11th, 2019 brings us the latest edition of the Bridger Bowl between 5-0 Mountain View and 3-2 Lyman. One team looking to secure a playoff bid and the other looking to hold pace with the top four in 2A West. The sun is out and the temperature has climbed just north of 40 degrees here on homecoming just after noon in Lyman. Jake Hibbard saying hello as we get you ready for kickoff at the top of the hour on this First Bank presentation of Bridger Bowl 2019 on mylocalradio.com. For nearly 45 years, Jaegers Auto Body in Green River has been among the most trusted businesses in southwest Wyoming and beyond. There's a reason why the biggest auto dealers in the area trust their vehicles to Jaegers Auto Body. Owner Justin Jaeger and his staff are experts in their field and will deliver on your vehicle's needs. So the next time your car is in need of repair, go see the best at Jaegers Auto Body in Green River at 360 West Flaming Gorge Way, or give them a call at 307-875-2448. Jaegers Auto Body in Green River, proud sponsors of Mountain View and Lyman High School sports. Welcome back to the Jaegers Auto Body pregame show, and as you heard over the break, Jaegers Auto Body is at the top of the game in auto repair, and they've been doing it for 45 years. This is a family-owned business in Green River located at 360 West Flaming Gorge Way, and they're also a supporter of local athletics everywhere, including the Mountain View and Lyman region. So if you got a banged-up vehicle and you want to get it looking like new, go see Jaegers Auto Body in Green River. You can also give them a call for an estimate at 307-875-2448. Well, when we come back, we'll take our first look at today's contest of the Bridger Valley Bowl, as Mountain View is being hosted by Lyman right here in Uinta County. This is a First Bank presentation of Mountain View and Lyman football, live and online at mylocalradio.com with the simulcast on KNYN 99.1 FM.
As one of the region's most visited websites, mylocalradio.com is here to serve you. Catch up on local and regional news and information. Buy, sell, or trade your good used items on the radio classifieds. Stream your favorite music all day, every day, or catch our live coverage of your high school teams in action, all on mylocalradio.com. Like us on Facebook so you never miss a giveaway, and visit mylocalradio.com today to stream it all live.
Welcome into Lyman High School Homecoming Friday, and we are just north of 40 degrees, like I said, about 42, 43. The homecoming parade this morning started at 28 degrees, ended at 32. So one way or another, we're certainly north of where we were sitting yesterday as they had to reschedule the cross-country meet. Well, actually, they had to cancel it and reschedule the cross-country teams, which were scheduled to be at Fort Bridger yesterday, are in Rock Springs today. So a little bit warmer here for the Bridger Bowl today. Lyman hosting Mountain View, and Mountain View at 5-0. Let's get this thing out of the way right to begin. The varsity starters, because so many of these games have not ended with the A team in for Mountain View. The varsity starters have turned the ball over twice this year, once on the second or third pass of the season by Braden Walk, and then on a punt return 2 weeks ago against Thermopolis on their opening punt return of the game. Other than that, it has been no turnover football for Mountain View. And then as far as the defense goes, the varsity has allowed 6 points this season, that coming in the second quarter against Big Piney in week 2. So that's the level of dominance that Mountain View has experienced so far this season. On the other side of the sideline, Lyman has done pretty well as they're trying to earn a playoff bid for the first time in a couple of years. They're 2-1 in the conference season so far with wins over Pinedale and Kemmer, and they have a loss 14-12 to Lovell. That one stings a little bit. They finish out this season with Mountain View this week, then Graybull next week, and Big Piney on a Thursday to close out this season on senior night. And they currently sit third place in the West behind 3-0 Mountain View. Big Piney's 3-1, and then Pinedale's fourth at 2-2. But Lyman holds the tiebreaker over that. Lovell's fifth at 1-2, and Lyman holds the tiebreaker over Pinedale, but not Lovell. So if Lovell starts getting some wins strung together, that's something to be concerned about. The playoff picture for both of these teams is very much in reach. For Mountain View, they already hold tiebreakers over Big Piney, Lovell, and Pinedale, and with a win today, that would, of course, give them a tiebreaker over Lyman and would have them clinched into the playoffs just about, as only Big Piney could finish with a better record at 5-1 than Mountain View's lowest possible at 4-2. And not have a tiebreaker interfere. Graybull's the only opponent who could tie at 4-2 and also have a tiebreaker. They'd need to win out and have Mountain View lose out, including next week's contest, as Mountain View and Graybull will be doing battle. But a win today and Mountain View is in the playoffs, and that's all they need to take care of. For Lyman, on the other hand, they would certainly take a win this week, but they'd take one next week or the week after as well, as their playoffs are still not far from a sure thing, but they do have a decent path. Taking down the number 1 overall Buffs in today's game would be a tall task, but the path gets a little bit better in the last 2 games. Going to Graybull next week and then a home game against Big Piney, there's a couple of gotta-have-its, those wins against Big Piney and Graybull, certainly against Graybull next week to get into the playoffs. 4-2 would be a sure thing in, but they still might be able to get in at 3-3. Now let's take a look at some schedules across the state and what else is happening in Wyoming today at the Class 2A level. Well, this is the earliest kickoff, and after that, Pinedale will be at Big Piney at about 3 p.m., and then a bunch of 6 and 7 o'clock games. At 6 o'clock, Newcastle is at Thermopolis kicking off, and then Wheatland is at Buffalo at 6 p.m. as well. Graybull is at Lovell at 7 o'clock, and Kemmer is at Glen Rock. That's the 7 o'clock kickoff. That does it for 2A action today. Now let's take a break and come back with our look around the valley in just a bit. This is a First Bank presentation of Bridger Valley football, live and online at mylocalradio.com with the simulcast on KNYN 99.1 FM.
My name is Dr. Micah Pullins. I'm an orthopedic surgeon at Evanston Regional Hospital. I perform total hip, total knee, and total shoulder replacement. The huge majority of patients of mine that have undergone total joint replacement have been dealing with pain and disability for many years. After joint replacement and recovery, patients are back to doing the activities that they want to do.
The Wyoming Prep Podcast on the radio is back for another year with a bit of a twist. Join me, Jake Hibbard, as I transition from covering Evanston and becoming the voice of the Mountain View Buffs and Lyman Eagles. I'll be live every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. with news, analysis, and guests as we focus on the Bridger Valley and beyond. We'll cover the happenings around the area and across the state landscape. We would also like to welcome onto the show as a regular this year, Dennis Lynch of Auto Farm Chevrolet. Join us every Wednesday on KNYN 99.1 FM in the Evanston listening area for the Wyoming Prep Podcast on the radio. If you can't catch it then, don't worry. We'll post all the episodes up to mylocalradio.com, or you can also find it by searching and subscribing to the Wyoming Prep Podcast on iTunes or Google Play. The Wyoming Prep Podcast on the radio, presented by Auto Farm Chevrolet, every Wednesday, August through March on KNYN 99.1 FM in Evanston, or online anytime at mylocalradio.com, or of course at the Wyoming Prep Podcast on wherever you get your podcasts. The Wyoming Prep Podcast on the radio. Come join in on the fun. Welcome back to the Yeager's Auto Body pregame show, and today it's a Bridger Valley Bowl. It's a special contest where we've got both of the teams that we normally cover, Mountain View and Lyman, in the same area on the same football field, taking each other on. So we will be bouncing around a little bit throughout the day of here's a little bit from Mountain View, here's a little bit from Lyman. So as we take a look ahead next at our look around the valley, we'll catch up with the junior quarterback and new transplant into Uinta County, Lyman's own Carter Smith. We'll hear from him, and then at the half for our standout student segment, we'll hear from a standout from the Mountain View side, Hunter Gross, a senior defensive end for the Buffs. So when we come back, it's Carter Smith on the Yeager's Auto Body pregame show, and this is a First Bank presentation of Bridger Valley football, live and online at mylocalradio.com and KNYN 99.1 FM.
It's human nature to think the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. That's not always true, especially when it comes to buying vehicles. This is Dennis Lynch, General Manager at Auto Farm Chevrolet. Dealerships pay the same price for new vehicles across America. The fact is, the best deals are right here, in your own backyard. The difference is that our employees are your neighbors, people you can trust. Please visit us first, Auto Farm Chevrolet. We are your community-driven dealer.
I've got Carter Smith with me, a junior with Lyman High School football team and a quarterback. You're coming over. It's your first year in Lyman. How long have you been here?
We moved here about halfway through August, but we came and actually stayed in our camper here halfway through July so we could start playing with sports teams and stuff. So been here for about 3 or 4 months.
How was that, living out of a camper for a couple of weeks?
It was a really interesting experience. It was good to be over here and meet the team and get acquainted before the season actually started. I think that really helped us.
And your dad is the superintendent here. Explain to me, how long you knew you were going to have before you moved. Did you know over the summer? How did it all work out?
We found out towards the middle of June that he interviewed on a Monday, and we found out like Wednesday or Thursday that he had been offered the job, and then the next week we actually came down and played in a basketball tournament with Lyman, and then the next week we went to Mesa with them. So it all happened pretty fast. Yeah.
You've been to the Mesa basketball camp. It seems like everyone from this area goes. So you've already been to that. How did you like that?
I liked it a lot. It was good to meet a lot of the kids here and make some connections before school and football actually started.
You were in Ryrie before that. Explain to me how that town compares to this one, differences, similarities, anything like that.
It's actually really similar, about the same size as school. Same school colors. It was kind of nice. I didn't have to switch all my clothing and everything with that, but it's pretty similar.
I guess blue and white's a fairly common combination, but that had to be lucky.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. Ryrie was just blue and yellow, so I just had to get rid of all my yellow.
Okay, so you got to get rid of the yellow then. How have you felt about jumping onto this football team? And, it's got to be a lot. New system, new coach, new teammates, all that. I assume you played back in Ryrie as well. How was the transition for you?
It went really smoothly, actually. All of our teammates have been way supportive, and we all just want to win and be able to play our best. It's been way good.
How did last weekend's game and that win over the Star Valley JV go for you and the team?
It was a good win for us. We came out kind of slow, and then the second quarter we started to play, and our linemen just destroyed them in the second half. We just were able to move the ball all over them, it was a really good win for us.
Starting off the year, you had a close win. You had get it past Pinedale, and I think of 2012 was the final in that one, but required a goal line stand at the end. You played a little defense as well. How have you felt about that defense as they've been able to really make some stands throughout this season to get some wins?
Our defense is tough, especially our defensive line. There's some tough kids, and I don't know. I feel like we play with a lot of heart, and when we need to get a stop, we're going to get it.
Now, you also play basketball, and you went to the Mesa camp. Which one's your favorite? Do you have a favorite out of football and basketball?
Football is by far my favorite. I like it a lot more.
And why is that?
I don't know. I always just enjoyed it. It was the first sport that I really took off with, and I've always just loved it.
Do you do anything else, activities or otherwise, anything you're interested in school particularly?
I participated in FFA in Idaho, and I'll probably end up doing it here.
What do you do in FFA?
In Idaho, I judge soils, but they don't have it here in Wyoming.
Soil judgment. Give me an example of something that you would do in that category.
So they have like a 10-foot hole. It's like a slant, and you walk down the hole, and you have to judge how much topsoil it has, what the topsoil has in it, what nutrients and stuff, and then you have to tell them what fertilizers they need to use in it to make it better to grow plants.
Now, how do you get acquainted with topsoil and knowing what's in it?
Just by practicing, and you have to just practice, just learning how to tell which is which.
What are you looking for when you take a look at the dirt to give you as indicators of what's in it?
Topsoil is usually a little bit softer than the ground, and you can actually poke it with like a screwdriver to tell. And when you're out of the topsoil, you hit harder, and that's how you tell.
What about like the actual nutrients that are in it? What are some indicators for that?
Usually they'll give you like the numbers of the nutrients that are in it, and you just have to tell them how much they need to add and stuff.
What may you do at FFA since they don't have soil judgment here? What may you do?
Meats or mechanics, I don't know yet.
Meats or mechanics, what are the options on that?
Meats judging, you just kind of go into a meat cooler and tell them what's wrong with the meats or what's good about it. Mechanics, they have like 4 different competitions, like welding, small engines, and stuff like that.
You know, I came from a very small town in Montana, but there was FFA. I never competed in it. My introduction to FFA was Napoleon Dynamite, Idaho legend. I assume you're familiar with the film.
Oh, definitely.
And that milk thing, that's a real thing in FFA?
Yeah, it's the dairy competition.
And you just take a look at milk and say, this one. I mean, I don't know. Is there really a problem if a cow gets into an onion patch?
I don't actually know for sure. I've never done the dairy competition.
Okay, well, so that's a real thing. So what are some other categories that you could have? Is there more in Idaho than there are here, or are they just different?
I think they're just different. Usually all the states are about the same.
What are some other categories that there are?
Oh, man. There's like, I can't even remember how many. There's a ton.
I won't hold you to that then. What about school-wise? What are your favorite subjects?
I enjoy math and science. I like math because it's always kind of come easy to me. I don't really like English because I can never remember all the terms and all that, but math's definitely my favorite subject.
And what math class are you taking right now?
The college pre-calculus class through Utah State.
Oh, man. I feel you're a junior and you're already taking the college class. That's kind of become the norm now, though, I guess. When I was in school, I think I was taking Algebra 2. Did you take that in, like, 4th grade or something?
I think I took Algebra 2 as a freshman.
That was a junior class where I came from. You guys have gotten a lot better at math. It's probably a good thing. I got English down, so if you ever need any help, I can help you out there. It's Carter Smith, a junior at Lyman High School. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You know, there's been a few times I've described Carter Smith's running style throughout the year, and it always seems to be the same thing, a bowling ball. He's not the fastest guy out on the field, and he's not necessarily the biggest guy either, but he uses his speed to the best of his ability, and he does the same with his size, and he really lowers that shoulder and runs through and right through the line to the ends, wherever he can find space, and sometimes he'll try to create space as a bowling ball does. So it's great to have Carter jumping into the program and coming into Lyman to welcome that whole family here, and thanks to him for joining us for that Look Around the Valley segment. When we come back, we'll switch gears and look more to the coaches' side of things. And this is a First Bank presentation of Mountain View and Lyman football, live and online at mylocalradio.com and on the radio as well at KNYN 99.1. This is the Yeager's Auto Body pregame show.
Your mobility affects every aspect of your life. When you suffer from an injury that decreases your mobility, or maybe you're just noticing that you're having a harder time balancing and your flexibility isn't what it used to be, call Randy Christofferson at Achieve Sports Medicine. Randy will work with you to improve your overall health by reducing pain and improving mobility. Schedule your appointment today by calling 307-747-4627. Achieve Sports Medicine in Lyman. No excuses, just results.
Because of you, I felt hopeless.
I know it was a joke, but it still hurt me.
Because of you, I felt wanted and not alone in this world.
Because you said hi to me on the first day of school, I felt included, and I knew that I was going to be okay.
Business cards are a powerful and inexpensive way to promote the goods and services you offer. You can design your own cards or have the professionals at West Star Printing design your business cards. Now with same-day and next-day turnaround on all business card printing, you don't have to wait. Get your business cards today. Professional quality, inexpensive prices, and quick turnaround. Visit West Star Printing, 243 7th Street in Evanston, across from the library. West Star Printing, 307-789-5202.
Welcome back to the Jaeger's Auto Body pregame show. The next time your car's getting a little dinged up and having troubles, go see the best of the best at Jaeger's Auto Body in Green River. Give Justin and the gang a call at 307-875-2448. That's 307-875-2448. Jaeger's Auto Body in Green River. Well, it's time that we switch gears over to the coaches' side of things here in the pregame portion. And so when we come back, we'll hear from the visiting coach in today's contest, Brent Walk of the Mountain View Buffs. And then we'll have the homestanding coach, Dale Anderson of the Lyman Eagles, to close out the Jaeger's Auto Body pregame show. This is a First Bank presentation of Bridger Valley Football on MyLocalRadio.com and KNYN 99.1 FM. For nearly 45 years, Jaeger's Auto Body in Green River has been among the most trusted businesses in southwest Wyoming and beyond. There's a reason why the biggest auto dealers in the area trust their vehicles to Jaeger's Auto Body. Owner Justin Jaeger and his staff are experts in their field and will deliver on your vehicle's needs. So the next time your car is in need of repair, go see the best at Jaeger's Auto Body in Green River at 360 West Flaming Gorge Way, or give them a call at 307-875-2448. Jaeger's Auto Body in Green River, proud sponsors of Mountain View and Lyman High School sports. I've got Brent Walk with me, head coach of the Mountain View Buffaloes. Last week, a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about the Thermopolis game, which was, by your estimation, not the sharpest performance of the year. Well, how about 28 points on 7 plays? Was that a little better for you?
Yeah, Jake, honestly, and especially, we knew that during the game as we got going, our guys were, number one, they were taking care of their jobs. And then when we broke down that film, we played very, very well, and honestly, we were a better team than Pinedale. But what was more important than that was our guys made sure that, when you and I talked about the Thermopolis, one of the things we struggled with was, guys not executing and taking care of their, what we called the 111th. And, our guys came out and played, man, and it was pretty exciting to watch.
Well, your JV played pretty much all that second half against Pinedale, and that was an opportunity to see the varsity, or that was an opportunity for them to see some varsity play against a varsity team. Now, certainly you didn't open up the offense with them in there, but what did you think about how they managed?
Yeah, to be honest with you, too, so we broke down the JV, the second half, because our guys, literally didn't play one play except for special teams, punt and stuff. But, our JV team, we are very, very excited about our JV team, our junior class, our sophomore class, and our freshman class. And they've been having, just an absolute great season. And so, to be honest with you, what I think happened is they stepped out on the field and they played a little bit timid instead of, just coming out playing Mountain View football. And so, there were some mistakes that, we're not satisfied with what that happened in the second half. But, you hit the nail on the head. It's a great opportunity for those guys to, see some varsity experience and, an entire half, and then they came out this past week and had a great game against Evanston, beat Evanston JV 35-0. So, that's one of the big things that we talk to those guys about is, you just come out and play and take care of your assignments, and, we like where we're at.
Your stress all year long is not letting your team beat themselves, and right now I have your plus-minus at a +4. How do you feel about how they've done with that at this point?
Yeah, that's one of the big things that and in fact, we had that in one of our early meetings this week. We talked about that as, the older guys, the ones we have 2 turnovers this year, so that's kind of misleading too. And the first game in last year we had 5 turnovers against Cokeville, so our guys are really stressing to take care of the ball. And we're very happy with the turnovers we're causing, which we've done that year in and year out. So we're causing a lot of turnovers. We're taking care of the ball, and we don't like those 2 turnovers that the guys have had, but it's a lot better than 5 in one game.
Yeah, you get a fumble recovery in the first half, and then, like you said, the fumble on your end comes in the second half on the JV side. We're getting cooler. This week. It could be a lot worse, but off topic a bit, what's the coldest game you recall being a part of?
2014, 17 below in the state championship. I'll tell you a quick story. I didn't realize how cold it was until after the game we won. That was our first championship we won, and the guys went over and they broke the ice out of the water cooler and dumped it on me. Oh my gosh, I was sick for like 6 weeks.
Did they have to then break you apart to get you back into the bus after that?
Like my pants and coat, everything just went solid ice. But I wouldn't change that moment for the world. It was a pretty cool experience.
As head coach Brent Walk for Mountain View, thank you very much and good luck.
I appreciate it, Jake. Thank you very much.
Mountain View sitting at 5-0 on this season and, man, looking strong. 28 points on 7 offensive plays in the first quarter. How do you get any more efficient than that? Well, when we come back on the Jaegers Auto Body pregame show, we will have Dale Anderson, head coach of the Lyman Eagles, and then starters and the opening kickoff to begin the Bridger Valley Motor first quarter. This is the Bridger Valley Bowl, live and online at mylocalradio.com and KNYN 99.1, presented by First Bank. With mylocalradio.com, you get to stay up to date with Lyman and Mountain View sports by watching all of the games live in the convenience of your own home. Now you get to keep up with your coaches, athletes, and teachers throughout the week with the Bridger Valley Coaches Corner. Weekdays during the school year, the Bridger Valley Coaches Corner will run on KNYN 99.1 FM at 3 p.m. and keep you up to date with the most interesting storylines from Lyman and Mountain View in football, volleyball, basketball, swimming, running, golf, and more. We'll also check in with different students and teachers from the 2 schools throughout the year. 3 p.m. Monday through Friday on KNYN 99.1 FM is the Bridger Valley Coaches Show presented by mylocalradio.com. Stay connected.
It's important to feel like you belong. At Trona Valley Federal Credit Union, we understand the value of connection. When you become a member, you join our family. You become an owner of a not-for-profit financial organization, and your success becomes our success. We give back to our members by offering lower loan rates, fewer fees, higher yields, and more products and services. Become a member of Trona Valley Federal Credit Union today, and let's work together to reach your financial goals. We're a caring partner here for you. Member NCUA.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
When you have any mechanical problems, always think of Reese Auto Service in Lyman first. Doug and the mechanics at Reese Auto Service work on everything from your lawnmower and snowblower to cars, trucks, farm and ranch equipment, and semis. You can also get tires for anything you need at Reese Auto Service. Always visit Reese first. You'll get great pricing and quality-friendly service. Reese Auto Service, 541 Highway 413, Lyman.
Well, when we come back, it's time to hear from Dale Anderson, head coach of the Lyman Eagles. He'll close out the Jaegers Auto Body pregame show, and then we'll have starters and the opening kickoff next on this First Bank presentation of Bridger Valley Football on mylocalradio.com.
The best place to stay when you're in Casper, Wyoming is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. This beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, 1 pool, a fitness center, and fabulous indoor atrium. Offering jacuzzi and fireplace suites, the guest rooms are comfortable and relaxing. Plus, every stay includes a delicious extended continental breakfast. Whenever you're in Casper, stay at the best place. Come on in, Hotel and Suites. Come on in today. Come on in, Hotel and Suites, Casper.
I have Dale Anderson with me, head coach of the Lyman Eagles. This is fantastic for me because I don't have to jump around the state, make calls. I get to talk to both of the coaches I normally cover for this week's game. It's Mountain View Lyman. And I remember reading an old Tribune article years ago where you were quoted as saying, yeah, it's not if you get a win, it's nice. If you get a loss, you don't want to go to that grocery store over 6 miles down the road. The rivalry match. You've been doing this a while, though. It's a friendly rivalry, but of course, you always want to go out and compete.
Well, yeah, you want your kids to go out and play hard and and enjoy that aspect of it. The rivalry games are always fun to be part of anywhere I've ever been. So it just adds a little extra to the game.
As you had last week a Thursday matchup against Star Valley's JV, you were telling me kind of 2 spurts. Star Valley jumped out on you, and then you got 22 unanswered on them, and then your defense held to get the win. And that was after a couple of game slides. So it had to be good to build a little momentum in this now after mid-season point.
Well, yeah, you always win's a win, and you want to get back on that track. And we got some big games, a big game this week, and then the next couple of weeks are big for us also from a playoff standpoint. So, yeah, it was good to get headed back in a little better direction. Now we just got to keep going that way.
Yeah, week 6, 7, and 8, all all Western Conference games as you finish out. You're sitting at 2-1. Pinedale, I believe, is at 2-2 now. You got a lot of teams really in the mix right there, and there's only 4 spots to go around, so there's a lot of big games coming up.
Yeah, you don't take a week off at this point. You've got to get better and keep improving, and it'll be some crazy things could happen, and we want to try to take care of what we can take care of and hopefully be in that mix here in 3 weeks.
Now, I'm certainly not going to get ahead of things here, but 2 years out of the playoffs and getting those first 2 wins really starts things off on the right foot. But with 7 teams in the conference, there's a ways to go. But at this point in the season, where have you seen your team try to make strides as they have these guys, if they've been in the system a couple of years, haven't been to the playoffs?
Well, we're just trying to find some consistency in what we're doing so we know what to count on week in and week out. It's with quite a few young kids that this is their first varsity experience. It's just kind of growing up and figuring out what it takes to win week in, week out at the varsity level. And that's a little bit of a challenge for some of the kids, but they're, some of them are starting to figure out. Some of them we still got to drag along a little bit that way.
You had a Thursday game, which meant you weren't playing football on Friday. So how has that adjusted your week for this week or, going back to Friday? What was the plan?
Well, it's kind of nice. Gave the kids a long weekend off. Sometimes kids just need a rest too, so they had an extra day off over the weekend. And, hopefully, starting tonight, they're recovered and ready to go and we can have a good crisp practice. Which, this time of year you try to keep things a little shorter also, just – we're not introducing a lot of new things, but we want to be fresh on Friday is the goal.
Talk about crisp. 1 o'clock kickoff on Friday. We're hoping it's north of 40 degrees. It's going to get cold this week.
Yeah, Thursday, looking at the schedule or the forecast for Thursday, I'm like, oh, man, it's like 30 and snow. And, we're talking like December weather. So, you deal with it, and that's what you do. There's no constant conditions in war and so you just adjust and adapt and get the kids learn. It's a good lesson for them to have to focus in extreme differences in climate or weather, whatever the case may be. You want kids that are adaptable and can adjust, and coaches too.
Well, I'll take 85 next week if we have to have 40 degrees this week. That's Coach Dale Anderson of the Lyman football program. Wear your warm shorts this Friday.
Yeah, I'll try to wear the insulated ones.
Lyman with 3 conference matches to close out the season and sitting in position to make the playoffs, but they need to close out strong, and it all starts today. See what they can do when we come back. It's about kickoff time. Starters for offense and defense of Mountain View and Lyman when we return on this First Bank presentation of Mountain View and Lyman football on mylocalradio.com with the simulcast at K9 Radio 99.1 FM.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
We know that when you think of Plains Tire in Evanston, you always think
the Tire Professionals.
Quality customer service. They're friendly with great prices.
I really like Plains Tire in Evanston.
But did you also know that the team at Plains Tire offers oil changes, windshield wiper checks, and free alignment checks? That's right, free alignment checks. We don't want you to quit thinking all those great things when you hear Plains Tire. We just want you to add to the list. Plains Tire, the tire professionals. Stop in today, 157 Bear River Drive.
The best live coverage of local sports, weather, local news, and radio classifieds, plus online streaming music, giveaways, and more. It's all on mylocalradio.com. Watch as your high school teams clash with their biggest rivals. Listen to the latest from your team's coaches. Catch up on local and regional news and stream your favorite music. Visit mylocalradio.com. Like us on Facebook and stream it all live.
For nearly 45 years, Yeager's Auto Body in Green River has been among the most trusted businesses in southwest Wyoming and beyond. There's a reason why the biggest auto dealers in the area trust their vehicles to Yeager's Auto Body. Owner Justin Yeager and his staff are experts in their field and will deliver on your vehicle's needs. So the next time your car is in need of repair, go see the best at Yeager's Auto Body in Green River at 360 West Flaming Gorge Way, or give them a call at 307-875-2448. Yeager's Auto Body in Green River, proud sponsors of Mountain View and Lyman High School sports. Do you like following your Mountain View and Lyman athletics when you can't make it to the game? Well, we love bringing it to you. Hi, I'm Jake Hibbard, voice of the Mountain View Buffaloes and Lyman Eagles, and I've been traveling around the state of Wyoming and covering high school sports for the better part of a decade. Whether it's covering a big culminating event at the Casper Event Center, calling a tightly contested Mountain View Lyman game, the greatest rivalry in this state, or kicking back and enjoying the views at one of the state's many hidden gems like the ballpark in Cowley, Wyoming, there's a few things I always see. There's officials trying their hardest, coaches sweating it out on the sidelines, and there's always a ton of support for these athletes from the entire community. MyLocalRadio.com would like to take a moment to thank all of its sponsors for making today's video coverage possible. Without all of us working together, none of this could happen. If you would like to support our future video broadcasts of Lyman and Mountain View sports, there's a few ways you can let us know. The first is, you can call our home office in Evanston, Wyoming at 307-789-8116 and let them know that you would like to know more about how you can become a sponsor of Bridger Valley Sports. The other is, you can just come up to me before or after a game and ask for more information. We've got a lot of different tiers of sponsorship and we'll find the perfect one for you. We would love for you to join the MyLocalRadio.com and Bridger Valley Sports family and help us continue to bring these games for years to come. That number again to call for the Evanston office is 307-789-8116. Or just come up and see me at one of the games and let me help you help us. And remember, go Eagles and go Buffs.
Because of you, I feel not alone in this world. And you let me know that it only takes one person to make you feel wanted.
We welcome you in momentarily to the Bridger Valley Motor opening quarter of this contest of the Bridger Valley Bowl. Lyman hosting Mountain View right here on KNYN 99.1 FM with the video stream online at mylocalradio.com, and invite all of you to join in if you can. Go and get the full video coverage or join us on the radio if that's all you have the opportunity to do. Well, the coin toss was won about 20 minutes ago by Lyman, and they opted to receive. And Mountain View will be defending the south end zone to the left of us, and Lyman defending the north to the right of us. Lyman in their bright blue jerseys, helmets the same color, white pants, and white numerals. Mountain View in white jerseys, black pants, purple helmets with the MV in checkered white and to gray gradient going across the sides of the helmets. Mountain View sideline on the far side as they are the visitors. Lyman on the near side. The starters now first for Mountain View's defense as they will kick off at the front of the line. First at defensive end, Hunter Gross, a senior, 195-pound with 2 sacks on the season, 14 tackles for a loss. On the other side of the defensive end, it's Jimmy Medler, number 77 and a senior. Nose tackles, Hunter Meeks, a junior at 258 pounds, and Brecken Barnes, an all-state returner, number 68 at defensive tackle, a senior as well. Linebacker, all-stater, Kimball Madsen, 55 tackles, 7 for a loss and 3 sacks, as well as Sam Porter making a return this year, just 15 tackles on the season for him, as he's been in and out depending on the health on a given week for him. In strong safety, Brigham Blue Mel, 6'4", 205-pound senior. Weak safety, Caleb Knutson, a senior at 175 pounds. Free safety is Ashton Schofield, 160-pound junior. And the cornerbacks are Braden Walk, number 2, a 175-pound senior, and the quarterback as well, and Trevor Sweeney, 155-pound senior. The kickoff specialist is Tiancum Picola for Mountain View, and he is setting up to boot it deep. Picola, a sophomore, 0 for 3 on field goal attempts this year, 22 of 26 on point after touchdowns. Back to return for Lyman. You have Blake Palmer and Richie Brewer. The kick is off, and it's fielded at the 3-yard line by Brewer. He's going to his left and brought inside the 10-yard line and down for a tackle. It's Hunter Gross bringing him down, and that was not a lot of space for Brewer to make the run. Opens up the drive on almost unreadable hash marks here in Lyman. They have not rehashed or re-chalked the field. They'll mark it at about the 5-yard line. Make it the 10-yard line, rather, as once again, there's no real marking on the field. But first down and 10 at the 10-yard line. In the shotgun, right side, Carter Smith keeps it himself, mooks down to his right. Not a lot of space, and he's brought down about the line of scrimmage. Second down and 9, we'll say. We'll give him half a yard on the carry. First of the day for Carter Smith. Carter Smith, the quarterback, starting things off behind him. Hagen Lamoureux in the shotgun, running back at the receiver. They start 3, Richie Brewer, Blake Palmer, and Alex Bradshaw, and the hybrid back tight end, Preston Brewer. On the offensive line, left tackle is Ryan Christofferson, left guard Hunter Gines, center Briggs Richard, right guard Hanson Bradshaw, and Landon Heaton is the right tackle. Those are the starters for both Mountain View's defense and Lyman's offense. Second down and 9, ball on the 11-yard line, and in the shotgun is Smith. Lamoureux to the left, takes the handoff, moving over to his right, and brought down a couple of yards after the line of scrimmage, maybe to the 13. Have to check and see. The marker moves about that far. So a gain of 3 on the play, and it's third down and 6 to go. Make it ball at about the just shy of the 15-yard line. Close to third down and 5. Third down and half of the way there. Still inside their own 20, though, is Lyman, taking on 5-0 Mountain View. For this contest, Brent Walk comes into the game sitting at a career winning percentage of .766. He's 59-18 now in his 8th season. Looking for win number 60 on Lyman's homecoming. Shotgun, handoff to Lamoureux. Looks left of tackle. Brecken Barnes in at the point of attack. Gets maybe a yard, but stopped well short of a first down, and the first drive for Lyman appears to stall. Just about 2 minutes in for a 3-and-out. Back to punt is Brewer. Preston Brewer, the punter, back. And a couple of guys, Brigham Blue Mel at about the 50-yard line, set to field a return, as is that Schofield. Fielded by Blue Mel at the 48. To the 40-yard line, moving to his right, trying to drive through and break a tackle, but brought down by Hanson Bradshaw inside the 40-yard line. A gain of about 10 for Brigham Blue Mel on his first punt field of the year. It's been primarily Ashton Schofield and Trevor Sweeney back there. Drive starts at the 39-yard line. Here comes the Mountain View Buffs, and leading the way is Braden Walk at quarterback. Behind him, Kimball Madsen at the running back position. 4 receivers in Brigham Blue Mel, Ashton Schofield, Trevor Sweeney, and Caleb Knutson. To the left side, it's a 2-back set. Handoff goes to Madsen. Blue Mel lead blocking. Madsen brought down by Hanson Bradshaw after a gain to his left of about 4 yards. Ball marked at the 36-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the carry. For Madsen on the carry. Kimball averaging about a first down per carry, 9.8 yards on the season. 2 split back as well. We've seen more of this. Handoff goes to Brigham Blue Mel. He's the modified fullback. He's called an H-back in this formation, and he pushes forward for another couple of yards down to about the 33-yard line. Brings up 3rd down and 4 for Brigham. And as the season's gone on, they've run more of this 2-back set and puts Brigham Blue Mel, as I have him listed on my starters, he's listed as an H-back. He'll do a little bit of running, a little bit of blocking, a little bit of pass catching. He leads Mountain View with 18 receptions and 3 reception touchdowns on the season. Also has 119 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. 1 back set, 4 receivers. Walk moves to his left. Has the option to pitch out, does so to Madsen. And he's brought down by Blake Palmer at the line of scrimmage, looking to extend the field out to the far left side, and no gain on the play. 4th down and 4 to go. And this is Rivalry Friday afternoon, and the Lyman Eagles are playing like it. Mountain View has rolled through everyone up to this point in the season. However, Lyman holding strong early on. Ball played at the 34-yard line. A no gain by Madsen. 3rd down, or make it 4th down and 5 to go. In the shotgun form, 3 receivers to the right side for Mountain View. Ball on the 34-yard line. Need to get 5 more yards. Back to throw. Walk has time. Scrambles out to his right, under pressure, and brought down for the sack. It's Hanson Bradshaw with the tackle, and that turns it over. Roe Meekum also appeared to be in on the play, and it's a turnover on downs. How many times can you say you've seen that? Give the tackle and the sack and the turnover on downs to Hanson Bradshaw. They lose about 4 yards on the carry, and that puts the ball at the 39-yard line for Lyman to start their second drive. 7:40 left in the first quarter, brought to you by Bridger Valley Motor in the shotgun form. Lyman takes the handoff, does Lamoureux, past the 40 down to the 42-yard line. Give him a gain of 2 or 3 on the carry. 2nd down and, let's say, 8. Lamoureux had 1 carry in the last drive and a 3 and out. 6 yards for him on the couple of carries. Ball marked on the 42-yard line. Mountain View has not been stopped on a 3 and out, I think, all season long. In any of the games I've done, Smith takes a direct snap, bullies his way forward. We heard from him in the pregame. He gets about a yard on the carry. He's a transfer in from Ryrie, Idaho, and glad to have him, as all the Lyman faithful, as a junior taking over the starting quarterback position. 1 yard gain for Carter Smith. 2 yards for him on 3 carries. 3rd down and 7 to go. 6:46 left in the Bridger Valley Motor first quarter. Welcome you in wherever you're listening, whether you're for Lyman, Mountain View, or just watching some great Friday afternoon 2A competition. A flag flies from the near sideline, and that will call the play dead. Perhaps just a flag to get the warning of, I think Dale Anderson was a little too far out and past the sideline. So a warning flag. Now the ball marked 3rd down and 6 to go on the 44-yard line. It's a keeper to Lamoureux, rather. It was not a keeper. Handoff to Lamoureux, and he gets nowhere. Back to the 44, and that brings up 4th down and 5 to go. 3 and out is the case. A turnover on downs the case. I said 3 and out previously. A turnover on downs the case for Mountain View on their first drive. And so far it's been a stalemate. The kick is away by Brewer. Sweeney back to field along with Blue Mel. The ball bouncing at the 20-yard line and rolling end over end right there down to the 15, where Mountain View will start the drive. Touchdown by Blake Palmer. Not good field position, especially compared to getting it on Lyman's 39 on their first drive. The Bridger Valley Motor first quarter has got a great number to call, and that number is 307-780-3280. If you found yourself stuck on the side of the road, give that number a call, and Glade Erickson will come and pick you up 24/7 anytime with the towing operation at Bridger Valley Motor. 307-780-3280. If you haven't already, go ahead and put that in your phone and mark it as important. A 5-yard false start penalty puts the ball back to the 10-yard line. First penalty we've had of the day. Ball marked back to the 10-yard line. First down and 15. Continue our starters for both sides when we get a moment. Mountain View runs a lot of no huddle. Direct snap to Kimball Madsen at the 10. Breaks one tackle, another out to the left sideline. Hurdles a man down to the 20. Looking to get past to the 25 for first down territory. He got close right to the 25-yard line, and the first big play of the game is Kimball Madsen's. A 15-yard scamper, dash, and toe. He hurdled a man, he bullied through another, and then raced for sideline to get the first down and 10, the first of the day for either side. Comes at the 5:43 mark on the Bridger Valley Motor first quarter. The direct snap to Kimball Madsen. On the offensive line for Mountain View, Hunter Gross, Jimmy Medler, Bridger Harris, Brecken Barnes, Hunter Meeks from left to right. Quarterback keeper, walk up the sideline to the 30, the 40-yard line. He's brought down right there. A gain of 15 yards and followed by another as first Madsen and then Walk raced the ball all the way from the 15-yard line down to the 40. 2 plays and 30 yards of positive yardage. Ball comes to the line of scrimmage, first down and 10 at the 40-yard line for the Lyman defense on the defensive line. At nose tackle, it's Briggs Richard, Hanson Bradshaw, and Matt Wolford at defensive tackle. Shotgun form, Madsen to the right of Walk, 2 receivers either way. Looking out to the right side, fakes it to Knutson. Now passes intended for Sweeney, broken up by Blake Palmer at the point of attack at about the 46-yard line. And a good break up there. It was Hunter Gines, the linebacker, rather. It was 72, not 27, making the breakup. Hunter Gines, he's an offensive lineman, so he's got that 72, which is odd to see for on the defensive side because he plays a lot of linebacker, and even in the secondary is almost kind of a modified safety. Well, let's now get to our linebackers for Lyman. Hunter Gines mentioned, Braxton Saby, Roe Meekum, and Preston Brewer. Second down and 10, ball on the 40-yard line. Snap perfect to Walk, looking to throw out to his left. Heave-hose, has it, down to Brigham Blumel at the 30-yard line. It's caught down to the 20-yard line and out of bounds. A gigantic throw for Braden Walk, finding Brigham Blumel down to the left sideline. And the ball marked at the 20-yard line, a pickup of 40 yards on the completion, the first thrown today for Walk. Blumel with a 40-yard reception to go along with his 1 carry. First down and 10, ball marked at the, looks like the 20-yard line. Shotgun form, Madsen to the left of the gun. 2 receivers either way. Man in motion is Knutson. And they go to the right, and the play whistle dead at the snap as it was a direct snap to Madsen. A legal procedure on the offense. Back him up. Bring up first down and 15 at the 25-yard line. Well, 2 carries for Braden Walk. He's got 13 yards, a negative gain on the sack. And then the 15-yard gain, 40 yards on 1 of 2 completions. First down and 15, Walk in the shotgun. 2 receivers either way. Madsen to the left, takes the handoff up the middle. Runs through 1 tackle. Gines gets a hold of him. Madsen still on his feet, bounces outside to the 10-yard line. He's pushed out of bounds and close to another first down yarder. Would be a 15-yard gain if he got there, but Madsen is close to it. Ball placed on, is that the 11-yard line there. Bring him a yard shy and a 14-yard gain on the carry. 32 yards for Madsen on 4 carries. And a quick no huddle is delayed for Mountain View as they get the play from the far sideline. We'll get that Lyman secondary starters following the completion of this play. Shotgun, a direct keeper for Walk, bounces outside. Stuffed up as he tried to get left of tackle. Hunter Gines and Blake Palmer in on the tackles there. And a yard gain, make it a no gain. Third down and about 2 to go. In the secondary for Lyman, Richie Brewer is a corner along with McCoy Smith, and Blake Palmer is the safety. Third down and 1 to go. 29 yards on 4 carries. 3rd and 1 on the 11-yard line. Walk fakes the handoff once, up to Matson, straight up the gut, in the middle. He's got first down and inside the 5-yard line, it appears, for 1st and goal upcoming. Again, the way everything's set up, I'm not sure I can quite get a look at the hash marks. It looks like it's on the 4-yard line there. So a gain of about 7 yards on the carry for Matson. 1st and goal. Ball on the 4. Braden Walk. No, it's a direct snap to Matson. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Mountain View, 6-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Here midway, no late through the Bridger Valley Motor first quarter. 3:39 on the clock when the first touchdown comes through for Mountain View. Took the ball all the way from their 15-yard line and actually from their 10 after the penalty for a 90-yard drive. Tiancum-Picola out for the extra point. A flag whistles the play dead, and it is offsides on Lyman, it looks like. So maybe a yard closer for the extra point for Tiancum-Picola. And Luke Branson is the 4th receiver. I listed as the starter Ashton Schofield, but Schofield has not been in the punt return or out on the field today. So Schofield is apparently out, and in his spot is Luke Branson as that 4th receiver. 1 reception for Branson on the year, a touchdown, and a 19-yard catch for that score. Try it again on the extra point after the first was blown dead. It's up, and it's in. 7-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board late in this Bridger Valley Motor first quarter. This is a First Bank presentation of Bridger Valley football on mylocalradio.com and KNYN 99.1 FM.
A common thread no matter where you live in Wyoming is that if you're heading somewhere, it's probably going to be a while until you get there. A lot can go wrong on these long road trips across this great state. And if you ever find yourself broke down on the side of the road, it's time to call Glade Erickson at Bridger Valley Motor to come pick you up day or night. Bridger Valley Motor offers 24-hour towing services. If you need a tow, you need to call Glade on his cell phone at 307-780-3280. Bridger Valley Motor is here to pick you up if your lift ever lets you down. 307-780-3280.
And that's Glade Erickson and Bridger Valley Motor. You hear from them. They bring us this first quarter action. Also, you know, they're more than that towing service. That's really a big thing about what they do. They can get you home safely if you ever get stuck out on the road. But if you ever got a check engine light that comes on, I know when it happens to me, I don't really know what's going on, and especially with the way computers are in vehicles today, you can't really just get inside and see if there's a problem. So if you ever have that happen, you want to take it down to Bridger Valley Motor as well and go see Slim. He'll run the diagnostics, run the computer on your car and tell you if there's anything wrong, if it's just an O2 sensor or something like that, or if you got something more significant that you need checked out. 7-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. The kickoff is fielded at the 5-yard line by Richie Brewer. He's taking it up a big gap, but it closes quickly down to the 20-yard line. Gain of just about 10 yards on the carry. Bringing him down on the tackle there was Bridger Harris, the senior offensive and defensive lineman. Got the starters out for both sides out of the way, and we start the drive. Let's say, is that the 20-yard line? Right about there. First down marker, make it at the 21-yard line. The first down marker's at the 31. Shotgun form, direct snap to Lamoureux to the right. And whistle blows it dead. A lot of plays blown dead early on this. A false start against Lyman. Brings him back to the 16-yard line. It was a direct snap to Hagen Lamoureux on the first play of the drive. The last 2 drives for Lyman have gone 3 and out. They take over at 3:29 left in the Bridger Valley Motor first quarter. Ball marked just past the 15-yard line. Need to get to the 31 for a first. 4-man front for Mountain View. Looking back to throw on a little drop out to the left side. It was Brewer, Preston Brewer, the intended receiver, but overthrown well into the Lyman sideline. It's a little slant outside. And brings up second down and 15. Ball at the 16-yard line. Timeout taken by Mountain View. We'll be back in 30 seconds. It's 7-0. Mountain View over Lyman on the Bridger Valley Motor first quarter. And this is a First Bank presentation of Bridger Valley football on mylocalradio.com.
Super kids deserve super care. Experience the difference with board-certified pediatricians Alan Brown, MD, and Bird Gilmartin, MD, at Uinta Medical Group. Whether it's tracking your child's overall health at Well Child Checks or helping your little ones feel better when they're sick, Dr. Brown and Dr. Gilmartin are here to help your child grow, learn, and thrive. Schedule an appointment with Dr. Brown or Dr. Gilmartin by calling 307-789-WELL 9355 or visit evanstonanytime.com.
Both teams back out of the huddle, breaking as we welcome you back to the Bridger Valley Motor first quarter. Mountain View on top, 7-0 after a 4-yard run by Kimball Madsen. The ensuing drive is where we're at right now. Second down and 15 to go. Lyman with the ball. Down inside their own 15, make it 16-yard line. Handoff left side, fake to Lamoureux, and then given instead to Preston Brewer. He gets nowhere, in the backfield brought down. On the tackle there, Sam Porter, after coming back missing last week. Porter backs him up about another yard or so. We'll mark it back for a loss of 2 on the play, as Preston Brewer, with his first carry, goes nowhere. You'll see that double handoff, and I said fake, but a lot of times how Mountain View or how Lyman usually does that is they hand off to Lamoureux from Smith, and then Lamoureux immediately hands off the other way, going to Brewer. That's probably what happened there, as my eyes don't have the quickness to see that happening up here in the box. Third down and 18 to go. Back to throw. Smith has the arm, but it's too long, intended for Blake Palmer down the sideline. And fourth down upcoming. A punt situation and a third consecutive 3 and out for the Lyman Eagles hosting this contest. Sitting at 3-2, they're unranked in 2A coming into this game. They've been ranked as high as 4 earlier in the year, but they're 2-1 in the 2A West, coming off of a couple of losses. They got a win last week against Star Valley. A bad punt, bounces at the 35-yard line, picked up at the 45 by Trevor Sweeney. He's racing way back to the 35, where he's brought down about the 34 for Mountain View to start their drive, just 34 yards from pay dirt. 22-13 was the score last week as Lyman defeated the Star Valley JV, and they went down 13-0 in that contest and then scored 22 unanswered. First down and 10. Shotgun formation as always for both these teams. This Mountain View heading from left to right. 4 receivers, 2 either way. Looking back to throw, it's Walk on the snap. A little dump-off pass intended for Kimball Madsen, and it's well short. A flag comes in late. Do we have intentional grounding? I'm not sure, but that would be my guess because Madsen was in the area. However, Walk really dumped the ball, maybe a yard or 2. The flag is picked up, and that was the call for intentional grounding, but ruled that Madsen was in the receiving area. The throw was well behind the line of scrimmage, and sometimes that'll be a factor as pressure was coming in on Walk. Second down and 10 instead. Ball on the 34-yard line. Walk awaiting the snap. 2 receivers either side. Knutson in motion from left to right. Fake the handoff. Walk keeps it. Tries to bounce out to the left in the backfield. Brought down on the tackle there by Chevy Fackrell for a loss of 3 or 4 yards to bring up third down and long. The ball marked at about the 37-yard line. A loss of 3 on the tackle. And a good play for Chevy Fackrell. Lyman's defense has been a stalwart at times throughout this season, and you wondered how that would translate against the number 1 team in 2A. Well, early on, they've looked pretty good. Now, a couple of big plays for Mountain View has them with the lead on the 4-yard touchdown by Kimball Madsen. Third and long. Look outside to Sweeney. Completed in the flats at the 30, make it the 27-yard line. Not quite enough for a first down, but in no man's land, probably going for it here. Down to the 27-yard line on the play there. From 3rd and 14 to 4th down and 3 to go. 9-yard completion to Sweeney. 4th and 4, heading for it. Figure why not? Not going to try a field goal from this distance. Need to get Walk to the right side, keeping it himself. Will be close. First down called on the going. Gain of about down to the 17. Give him about 10 on the carry, actually. Make it about 7, rather. Walk on the quarterback keeper. First down and 10 to go on the 17-yard line. Mountain View threatening once again. Shotgun form. Walk has 3 receivers to the left side. It's Luke Branson alone to the right. Looks out, throws, completed to Blue Mel on a screen pass. Hurdles a man out to the sideline. The 10, the 5, through and into the end zone. He slammed it down. Was he in? Touchdown. Mountain View on the completion of 17 yards. Brigham Blue Mel hurdled and bullied and sprinted his way through and then finally belly flopped with the football down into the end zone. 13-0 on the completion. Braden Walk with his 8th touchdown completion of the year on 64% passing. The extra point forthcoming. Yes, hold is down, snap, hold, and kick is, looks like it was to the left. 13-0, extra point, no good on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mountain View leads by 2 touchdowns on this First Bank presentation of the Bridger Bowl on MyLocalRadio.com.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Braden Walk, 3 of 4 on passes so far today. He's completed 2 to Brigham Blue Mel, both for big gains. 1 of 40 yards. That helped set up the touchdown run of 4 yards for Kimball Matson. And this one, a screen pass out to the left side, went 17 yards. About 19 yards of yak, yards after catch for Brigham Blue Mel. 57 yards on those 2 catches. And Mountain View leads at 13-0. Extra point was no good. They drove down 66 yards for that drive. 21 seconds left in the Bridger Valley Motor first quarter. Extra point, again, no good. Wide left. Tiancum Picola out to kick off. A little bit of a breeze here in Lyman. Fielded at the 5-yard line again by Richie Brewer. He's moving out to his left, trying to find the sideline. Sweeney brings him down again inside the 20-yard line at about the 15, where Lyman will start its 4th drive of the quarter. Will certainly, barring disaster for Lyman, it will head into the Big Country Properties second quarter. Just 15.8 seconds left in the opening quarter. Ball marked at, let's say, the 17-yard line. Hash marks are non-existent. The line stripes across the field are just about non-existent on that side of the field as well. Shotgun form, 2-back set. Smith keeps it up the way to his left. Gets through a small hole and maybe gets a couple of yards, but brought down as the hole was collapsed by Sam Porter, the linebacker, stuffing up that gap as he went between the left guard and left tackle. Pick up 1 yard on the carry, and that's the end of the Bridger Valley Motor first quarter. 13-0. Lyman leads the bowl over Lyman by 2 scores. This is a First Bank presentation of Mountain View and Lyman football, live and online at MyLocalRadio.com with the simulcast on KNYN 99.1 FM.
A common thread no matter where you live in Wyoming is that if you're heading somewhere, it's probably going to be a while until you get there. A lot can go wrong on these long road trips across this great state. And if you ever find yourself broke down on the side of the road, it's time to call Glade Erickson at Bridger Valley Motor to come pick you up day or night. Bridger Valley Motor offers 24-hour towing services. If you need a tow, you need to call Glade on his cell phone at 307-780-3280. Bridger Valley Motor is here to pick you up if your lift ever lets you down. 307-780-3280.
The best place to stay when you're in Casper, Wyoming is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. This beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, 1 pool, a fitness center, and fabulous indoor atrium. Offering jacuzzi and fireplace suites, the guest rooms are comfortable and relaxing. Plus, every stay includes a delicious extended continental breakfast. Whenever you're in Casper, stay at the best place. Come on in Hotel and Suites. Come on in today. Come on in Hotel and Suites, Casper.
Second quarter beginning momentarily, brought to you by Big Country Properties, where broker Bobby Dolezal is part of the #1 listing and selling agency in the Bridger Valley. Commercial, residential, and land or ranch listings. Whether you're looking to buy or sell, call Big Country Properties at 307-782-3356 or visit bigcountryproperties.com. The first quarter ends with 8 yards of total offense for Lyman. For Mountain View, 78 on the ground, 66 through the air. Two-back set. Carter Smith comes out for 2nd and 10. Hands off to Lamoureux. Rates up the middle through, trying to get through a hole in the center and right guard, and gets nowhere. 2nd down and 9 becomes 3rd down and 7. 2-yard gain for Lamoureux on the carry. 8 yards on Lamoureux through 3 carries. One touchdown on the ground, a 4-yarder by Kimball Madsen. One through the air, a 17-yard screen completion to Brigham Blumell. 144 total yards, and on 3rd down and 7, a little play on an out route for Blake Palmer. He's face guarded by Brigham Blumell and Sweeney. It's incomplete, and 3 and out for Lyman. They gain just 3 yards on the drive, and it stalls at 11:24 left in the Big Country Properties second quarter. Not sure if I said it. 144 total yards for Mountain View in the first quarter compared to 8 for Lyman. That being said, the Lyman defense has been not so bad, trying to hold strong against this very, very tough Mountain View offense. The punt is not a great one. Gets out of bounds at about the 43-yard line where Mountain View starts the drive, and that's across the 50 into Lyman territory already. 4th drive of the day for Mountain View. Their first one was a turnover on downs. Their second resulted in a 90-yard drive for a score. And their third was 66 yards down the field. Braden Walk out at quarterback to start their first drive of the Big Country Properties second quarter. Time on the clock, 11:14. So a very short drive for Lyman on that 3 and out. Shotgun form, empty back. Now Madsen comes into motion to the right and takes the handoff. Breaks through one tackle, bounces outside. Pass Lamoureux at the 40-yard line to the 35. Brought down close to a first down as he takes those sticks and actually sends them to the ground as well as he goes skidding out of bounds. A gain there of 11 yards to the 32-yard line. 54 yards for Kimball on the day. Ball marked on the 32. First down and 10 to go. 3 receivers on the left side. You've got Brigham Blumell on the line, and in the slot, you got Sweeney and Knutson. 1 back set. Branson to the right. Handoff Madsen up the middle. Jukes around. Makes a spin move inside the 20-yard line. Inside the 30, rather. And brought down about the 28-yard line. Modest gain for Kimball Madsen, all things considering. He picks up 4. Averages 9.8 coming into week 6. 2nd down and 6 to go. Ball marked on the 28-yard line. Shotgun and handoff again to Madsen. Bowling his way through the middle of the field out to the 25-yard line. Maybe stopped a yard shy. Mountain View keeping it on the ground, and the Lyman defensive front holding for the most part. They've let a couple break free. Gain of 2 on the play to the 26-yard line. 60 yards on 9 carries for Madsen. I was making the hypothesis that the end zone was the only thing that could stop this Mountain View rush offense so far this year, but Lyman's doing a pretty good job. On 3rd down, Walk out to the left side, 20, 15, 10, 5 to the end zone. He's in. Scampers in, puts his right arm up into the air, and it's a 3-touchdown lead for Mountain View on 3rd down and 4 to go. A 26-yard gain for Braden Walk, his 2nd touchdown of the day, his first through the ground. That makes him into double digits on the season in rushing touchdowns. 18 total touchdowns on the year, 10 on the ground, 8 through the air. Braden Walk scores from 26 away. 59 yards for Walk on 7 carries, and the extra point will not happen. It's going for 2, trying to get those 2 points back on the extra point missed last time. Walk back to throw out to the left, completed to Madsen at the 5-yard line, brought down right there by Hagen Lamoureux. 19-0 the score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board here in the second quarter. Brought to you by Big Country Properties. Visit bigcountryproperties.com. This is a First Bank presentation of the Bridger Bowl on mylocalradio.com.
It's human nature to think the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. That's not always true, especially when it comes to buying vehicles. This is Dennis Lynch, General Manager at Auto Farm Chevrolet. Dealerships pay the same price for new vehicles across America. The fact is, the best deals are right here, in your own backyard. The difference is that our employees are your neighbors, people you can trust. Please visit us first, Auto Farm Chevrolet. We are your community-driven dealer.
10:24 on the clock as we welcome you back to Lyman, Wyoming. The Bridger Bowl is 19-0. Mountain View, the number 1 team in all of 2A, getting their 3rd score of the morning. Well, just afternoon, I should say. I got here in the morning against Lyman, the team 6 miles down the road. A 26-yard run by Braden Walk was his 10th of the season on the ground. He also passed for 1 earlier for his 18 in all touchdowns. All-purpose scores on the season for Mountain View. Kimball Madsen has a score as well. He has 11 touchdowns all through the ground this year. He has not attempted a pass on the season. 63 attempts coming into the game for 615 yards. Add on to that total 60 yards and a score for Kimball. Arms up in the air is Tiancum Picola, lined up to boot it away at the 40-yard line. 10:24 left in the Big Country Properties. Second quarter, fielded at the 10-yard line by Brewer, out to the right sideline to the 30. A good return to the 33-yard line where Lyman will start its 5th drive. Time on the clock, 10:14. A 10-second return there. Came off the clock. Ball marked on the 33. Not bad field position for Lyman. Only better was when they started their second drive at the 39. However, all 4 drives have failed to yield a first down in a fresh set. 4 receiver set for Lyman. Lamoureux, the back, takes it up the middle on the handoff to the 36-yard line. He picks up about 3 yards on the carry. In the first quarter alone, Lyman was only able to get about 8 yards of offense. Hasn't been much better or much easier sailing here in the second quarter either. 4 receivers set again to the right hash mark. Lyman moving from left to right. Handoff fake. Carter Smith keeps it up the left side. Gets out to the 37-yard line. Add another yard on it, and it's 3rd down. And 4, make it 6 to go. 5 yards for Smith on 6 carries. 52nd drive for Mountain View was how long it took on 4 plays to go 43 yards down the field. On that drive, it was an 11-yard gain, followed by a 4-yard gain, followed by a 2-yard gain, all of those by Kimball Madsen. And then on 3rd down, Braden Walk took it the remaining 26 yards for the score. Play whistle dead. Looks like a timeout taken by Lyman. 3rd down and 6 coming up. Ball marked on the 37-yard line. When we return on this First Bank presentation of Bridger Valley football on mylocalradio.com with the simulcast on KNYN 99.1 FM.
We're here to help strengthen our community. Yes, that's right. At Trona Valley Federal Credit Union, we take pride in belonging to our community. We encourage people of every race, gender, and belief to come together and give their all towards the betterment of our community. It's about people helping people. When you join our credit union, you also join a movement. At Trona Valley, we are thankful for our members, member NCUA, trust NCUA, a credit union system that is safe, sound, and secure.
Third down and 6 upcoming. The score 19-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value scoreboard. Mountain View leading Lyman, looking to go to 6-0 on the season. A loss today would push Lyman back to even on the season at 3-3, and more importantly, even on the conference schedule at 2-2 with 2 games remaining in the season. Third down and 6 to go. Lyman still looking for its first Fresh set of downs today on the 37-yard line. The snap back, bobbled, and Carter Smith is hammered down to the ground. A sack combined there. Kimball Madsen gets in on this tackle, as does Sam Porter, picking up his first sack of the year. That brings it down to another 4th down for Lyman, and make it 4th down and about 14 to go. So the sack takes away about 6 or 7 yards on the play. It was 3rd down and 4, another 4, making an 8-yard loss on that play. Punt is away by Brewer. Touchdown at the 40-yard line, or tip down. Brigham Blue Mel catches it at the 30-yard line, tries to make a return, and looking to juke left, he gets stumbled up on the grass, and Mountain View starts their drive at the 31-yard line. Make it the 32. Gain of about 2 yards on the carry for Blue Mel. He's been fielding the punts with Ashton Schofield out today. And 1st down and 10 for Mountain View in the Big Country Properties second quarter, 8:31 remaining before the half. 19-0 the tally. Mountain View was a turnover on downs recipient for the first time I can recall this year in their first drive, and Lyman had it working. Since then, it's been all Mountain View. Look out to Sweeney on the first play. Completed at the 35-yard line. Sweeney looked like he wasn't even looking, and maybe Braden Walk yelled, "Hey, the ball's coming your way," as Sweeney just caught it for a gain of about 2-3 yards on the play. Give him a 3-yard completion. 2nd down and 7 to go. Sweeney with his 2nd catch of the day for 12 yards. Ball marked right at the 35-yard line. Clock continuing to work down to 8 minutes. Mountain View taking a little bit of time here in the second quarter, brought to you by Big Country Properties. Go visit bigcountryproperties.com or give Bobby Dolezal a call at 782-3356. Shotgun form, Madsen to the left, or to the right of Walk. 3 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. Looking out right, it's a screen pass completed to Sweeney at the line of scrimmage. Makes a cut out to the 40-yard line, to the 50, across midfield, still up the sidelines. Cuts back into the 40-yard line, still on his feet, and nobody will get him. Say so long, Trevor Sweeney just gets his 2nd touchdown of the year to make it a 4-score lead for the Mountain View Buffs. Got the cow pastures out in the background, and Sweeney could have ran out there, climbed a hay bale, and still been all alone as he raced past everyone for Lyman for the score. 25-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. It was at the 32-yard line. Count that as a 68-yard score for Sweeney. A big play there. 68 yards for Sweeney, and that doubles Braden Walk's passing total of the day so far from 60. He was at 69. And add 68 onto that. Going for 2, Walk out to the left side and completed to Knutson in for the score to make it 27-0. Mountain View converts on the 2-point conversion. This is a First Bank presentation of Bridger Valley football. 27-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mountain View over Lyman.
When you have any mechanical problems, always think of Reese Auto Service in Lyman first. Doug and the mechanics at Reese Auto Service work on everything from your lawnmower and snowblower to cars, trucks, farm and ranch equipment, and semis. You can also get tires for anything you need at Reese Auto Service. Always visit Reese first. You'll get great pricing and quality-friendly service. Reese Auto Service, 541 Highway 413, Lyman.
27-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board as Trevor Sweeney took it 68 yards to the house on the 2nd passing touchdown of the day for Mountain View, their 4th overall. 27-0 after the 2-point conversion to Caleb Knutson. And Mountain View has it working. Up 4 scores on the Benedict's Market and True Value board here in the second quarter, brought to you by Big Country Properties. Visit bigcountryproperties.com or give broker Bobby Dolezal a call at 782-3356. It was a 1 minute and 1 second drive for Mountain View that took just a couple of plays to go 68 yards down the field. Take 5 yards away. Those 68 make it a 63-yard catch and run after the completion to Sweeney. Fielded and bobbled by Blake Palmer at the 10-yard line to the 15, up the right sideline, hammered down to the ground by Bryson Walker for the tackle, and not great field position for Lyman to take over for yet another drive here. 7:20 on the clock. They take over at about, let's see, they've given them at the 17-yard line, maybe the 18. Mark it at the 18-yard line for the drive. And here's the snap for Palmer. Hands off to Lamoureux. Up the middle to the 20-yard line, picks up 2 yards. Carter Smith hands off to Lamoureux. And a gain of 2 to make it 2nd down and 8 to go. Lamoureux 5 carries, 13 yards. $80 yards on 4 receptions for Trevor Sweeney. He's been a go-to receiver for them today. And that was just a little screen pass that was looking to get a first down, but he got everything on that play. 1:44 p.m. on KNYN, 99.1, 2nd down and 8. Handoff to Lamoureux again, and right to the same line of scrimmage. Brecken Barnes rips him down to the ground along with Hunter Gross. And is that Medler, Jimmy Medler out there on the tackle as well, and no gain on the play, 3rd down and 8 to go. Ball just past a football head beyond the 20-yard line. As we are in the Big Country Properties 2nd quarter. Lyman started off looking all right, but since has stalled, and that was defensively, and their offense hasn't been able to stay on the field. They have 5 consecutive 3-and-outs, now facing 3rd and 8, in danger of getting a 6th one. That's keeping that defense on the field and allowing Mountain View to really break everything open offensively. A flag comes from the backfield, and early movement, it appears, will back up Lyman 5 yards. Bring up 3rd down and 13 on, I think, a false start to go back 5 from the 20-yard line to the 15. That is the call as it's being marked off. Back to the 15-yard line, 5:54 left in the Big Country Properties 2nd quarter. Hanson Bradshaw under center, waiting for that snap. Actually, that's Briggs Richard, rather, under center. And it's low and bobbled. Smith picks it up, but brought down inside the 5-yard line. The sack by Hunter Gross, his 3rd of the year. He's been a little bit quiet in the sack department this season, picking up his 3rd sack of the season at 5:43 left in the 2nd quarter. Brought to you by Big Country Properties. Back to the 5-yard line, a loss of 10 yards on the sack there. Puts them inside their own end zone. Sweeney and Blumel are setting up at about the 35 to 40-yard line to field this punt. It goes over the head of Sweeney, picked up by Blumel at the 45-yard line. Jukes one man in Palmer out to the sideline, lowers his head at the 40-yard line, and is brought down, but not before laying the wood to Hunter Giants, who held on, wrapped up, and brought Blumel down to the ground. The ball is placed at the 39-yard line. 5:11 left in the 2nd quarter, brought to you by Big Country Properties. .511 is where the clock is stopped. Just 39 yards to go for Mountain View so far today. They've had some long fields to work with, some short ones to work with. They've worked with it all after a turnover on downs, their first play. First play is out to Matson on the right side. A flag comes in from the near sideline as Matson races out of bounds for a gain of about 5 yards, but probably coming back on a holding play as the field was reversed there. Coming from the sideline official. Sweeney with 4 catches on the year. He came into the season, into week 6, with just 2 receptions for a touchdown and 83 yards. Hold is the call against Mountain View indeed, as you can always expect to see in that situation. See the flag fly like it did. See where they mark it back to. There, the mark of the foul is about the 39 or 40-yard line, so that would be the line of scrimmage. It'd be 10 yards from there back to the 50, presumably. Being stepped back to the 50-yard line. So a loss of 11 on the penalty brings up second down and 21. Or first down and 21, I should say. Shotgun for him. Two receivers to the left in Blumel and Knutson. Branson on the line and Sweeney in the slot to the right. Madsen to the left of Walk in the shotgun. First down and 21, 5 minutes left. Walk back to throw, has Blumel, cuts back, under, through. Ball touches down at the 40-yard line as Blumel was coming back on a little hook, but the throw was a little early or a little short. Double coverage on Blumel, and you had Blake Palmer on him and Richie Brewer, the senior. Second down and 21. Mountain View has not been stalled since their first drive when they had a turnover on downs on 4 plays where they got the ball on their 39-yard line. Well, they get it on the 39 here in the Big Country Properties second quarter this time, and looking at a long field, and Lyman looking for the opportunity to do the same thing again. Second down and 21, shotgun snap again. It's a little low, Walk rolls back, looking for a man. It's a clear out, completed to Madsen at the 50-yard line. Has a lot of room to the 40, up the sideline, 30. Big Blumel is blocking his way through, and it's into the end zone. Touchdown, Mountain View. Give a big hand and a Dr. McKay Frankham precision play of the game to Brigham Blumel down there blocking for Madsen. He handled at least 3 Lyman Eagles on his way down to the score. Another pass and another score, this one of 50 yards down the field to make it 33-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Kimball Madsen picks up his first reception touchdown of the season. Now finally going for 2 is Mountain View as they got 2 points back, and it would make it 34-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Tiankin Picola to kick, Walk to hold. Time stopped at 4:44. The kick is up and good through the uprights, and 34-0 the score with 4:44 left in the Big Country Properties second quarter. This is a First Bank presentation of Bridger Valley Football, live and online at mylocalradio.com.
Whatever you need, it's likely that Bradshaw's and Lyman can help. Whether it's windows at home or new glass in your car, truck, SUV, or semi, Bradshaw's has it. Tires? Yes. All vehicles, ATVs, semis, and more. Bradshaw's offers a 24-hour towing service for everything large to small. And the Bradshaw Fitness Center is open 24/7. There's more, so always call Bradshaw's first. Whatever you need, it's likely they can help. 307-787-3450. Again, that's 307-787-3450.
We'll have the Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness halftime show coming up in about 4 minutes from now. However, in the meantime, Lyman looking to get a score on the board after another Mountain View touchdown. This one of 50 yards coming by way of Braden Walk, finding Kimball Madsen on a little clear-out screen, and Brigham Blumel downfield as he was the left side receiver blocking his way through. We've seen them run a little bit of split back formations with Blumel lead blocking for Madsen. Well, he did that and some for Madsen on his way to the score. Kickoff upcoming. Tiankin Picola set up at the 40. They put the clock back up to 5:35 as there was apparently a clock error. That brings up almost a whole minute extra of time. And that's interesting because I had them taking over at 5 minutes and 11 seconds. So they've added 24 seconds to the time when Mountain View took possession. So there must have been a running clock at some point, unless that is some extra time added on. One way or another, Mountain View had a negative 24-second drive then, if that's the case. A little squib kick for Picola, fielded at the 25-yard line. That by Lamoureux. He gets it just about 2 yards up the field and out of bounds at the 27 for Lyman to try to take over and get a first down, something that has still eluded them. I have to say I was very impressed by Lyman's defense, and to be honest, they're still doing a very good job, but the firepower of this Mountain View team is unparalleled, at least it has been so far in the 2A classification and probably beyond. Lyman with a couple of big games coming up in the next couple of weeks, regardless of how this game finishes out. They cannot lose sight of a big game next week at Graybull and then a Thursday contest to end the year at Big Piney, or in Lyman against Big Piney. Lamoureux up the middle on the first play from scrimmage out to the 35-yard line, and a good run on first down from the 30, about the 29 to the 35-yard line. A gain of 6 on the play for Hagen Lamoureux. 19 yards for Lamoureux. He's at the 35-yard line, and Lyman looking to get that first down of the day. Big Country Properties bringing you second quarter action. 34-0 the score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Shotgun form, 2 backs either way. Hand off to Lamoureux, left side. Looking to get a little space from a lead block, and he gets about 2 yards. It'll be third down and short at the 37-yard line. Need to get another 1.5 yards to get the first down. Give Lamoureux 2 on the carry. 21 yards on 8 carries for Hagen. He's a workhorse for them, as is their quarterback, Carter Smith. It's just been a matter of getting opportunities, as Lyman has not had that many plays to run today. Third down and 2 yards to go. Blitz coming up the middle. Loaded box. Handoff. Is play whistle dead. Early movement either on the offense or defensive side. We'll hold off judgment until the officials give us the call. And the penalty is against Mountain View. That's a first down, Lyman, and their first of the day at 3:30 left in the second quarter. Brings the ball out to the 42-yard line. First down and 10. Lyman. Ball at the 42, down by 34 points. Shotgun form, Lamoureux to the right. Direct snap to Lamoureux. He takes it up the middle for a couple of yards out to the 45-yard line. Pickup of 3 yards on the carry for Lamoureux. 24 yards for Hagen on the day. And ball was marked at the 43-yard line, not the 42, so make it second down and 8. On a 2-yard gain by Lamoureux. Blake Palmer is walking with head coach Dale Anderson, and it's a timeout taken by Lyman. 45 yards down the field and 55 to go for Lyman, trying to get a score on the board before the Big Country Properties second quarter ends. 2:55 left. We'll be back in 30 seconds on this First Bank presentation of the Bridger Bowl on MyLocalRadio.com.
When you have any mechanical problems, always think of Reese Auto Service in Lyman first. Doug and the mechanics at Reese Auto Service work on everything from your lawnmower and snowblower to cars, trucks, farm and ranch equipment, and semis. You can also get tires for anything you need at Reese Auto Service. Always visit Reese first. You'll get great pricing and quality-friendly service. Reese Auto Service, 541 Highway 413, Lyman.
1:56, just a little bit before 2 p.m. We're not even an hour into this contest. However, it is nearly halftime. 2:55 remaining here on homecoming for Lyman. 34-0, Mountain View spoiling the affair for the 3-2 Eagles. Second down and 8 to go. 2-back set in the shotgun. Smith takes the handoff, looks back to throw. Pocket collapses, tosses it over the head. Looked like Roe Meekum there. And it's third down and 8 to go. I believe that's Roe Meekum there. We're wearing a different number of 65 than what we've seen in the past. And that, I think that's got to be who that is. Different number than what I had originally. Third down and 8 as Meekum's replaced out there by Alex Bradshaw. At the 45-yard line. Third down and 8. Need to get across the 50 down to the 47. Low snap. It's a keeper for Palmer, or for Smith rather, and he gets nowhere on that low snap. Hunter Gross right there. We'll hear from him soon, and he'll describe himself as an aggressive guy. He was aggressive on that play on the 2-yard loss on the quarterback keeper by Carter Smith. Smith is at negative 15 yards on the day. There's been nowhere to go. Preston Brewer back to boot it away. 2 men back to receive at the 30-yard line is Sweeney and Blumel. No Ashton Schofield today for Mountain View. The kick is a good one. A nice punt fielded at the 24-yard line by Sweeney. Has the lead block of Blumel and takes it up a hole to the 37-yard line. Brought down by Hanson Bradshaw on the play and Hunter Gines. And a drive left at 2:09 for Mountain View. They need to drive about 65, 67 yards down the field. They'll mark it down at the 38-yard line. Need a 62-yard drive to put that 40-yard differential that they had between Pinedale and themselves last week to force a running clock. Lyman, of course, defensively having different ideas, coming out in a 3-5 front. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left for Braden Walk, 1 in the shotgun, out to the right. It's a screen pass completed to Sweeney. And he's up the sideline again, still on his feet, finally brought down at the 49-yard line. A pickup of about 10 yards on the carry after catch. And they'll mark it down as a 9-yard completion for Walk to Sweeney. 191 yards for Walk on the day. Another screen pass out to Blumel to the 50-yard line. He's got some space if he can get through one tackler, but Hanson Bradshaw brings him down past the 45-yard line. A first down, but for Blumel had a room for a lot more if he got past. Down at the 44-yard line. Pickup of 7 yards on the completion. That's the third catch for Blumel today. Down to 1:27 left in the Big Country Properties second quarter. Shotgun snap, right to Walk, rolls out right, has a man deep, looks into the middle of the field, though, in and out of the hands of Sweeney. The ball goes out. I think that has to be ruled as an incomplete catch, and a flag comes in late, maybe some extracurricular after the play coming in. That stops the clock at 1:17. 34-0 the score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. And do we have too many men on the field for Mountain View? Or is that against Lyman after the play? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. I see 11. It's on Mountain View. And that may have got caught for too many men. I think that's the call there, is that I saw the little hat touch there. Marks him back to the 49, maybe in the huddle perhaps, or a late call. I'm not sure what. A guy getting off the field, something like that. I think that was the call. Anyways, bring the ball back to about the 49-yard line. Brings up first down. And about 15 to go. Snap. Back to Walk, looking deep, has Knutson at the 30-yard line. It's completed down to the 15. A big completion to Caleb Knutson for 36 yards down the field. And Mountain View in business again, up 34-0 with 1 minute and ticking down on the clock. 36-yard carry or catch for Knutson. His first of the day. Snap up the middle and handed off to Kimball Madsen inside the 10-yard line to about the 8. Give about 7 yards on the carry, and it's a timeout taken by Mountain View. Ball marked on the 9 when we come back. This is a First Bank presentation of Bridger Valley Football, live and online at mylocalradio.com. 34-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mountain View over Lyman.
Members of Trona Valley Federal Credit Union feel confident that our staff has your best interest in mind, confident that we acknowledge your financial needs, confident that we are always working hard to provide the best rates, best products, and the best service the industry can offer, and confident that we will always work with you to help achieve your financial goals. Join Trona Valley Federal Credit Union today. TronaValley.com, member NCUA.
58.3 seconds left in the second quarter, brought to you by Big Country Properties. After that, we'll have the Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness halftime show. We'll hear from Hunter Gross. He has a sack in today's game. Several tackles to go along with that. And coming out as a left tackle for Mountain View, the ball marked on the 9-yard line. After a 6-yard gain by Kimball Madsen. He's got 66 in the game, plus 50 yards through the catch A quarterback keeper for Braden Walk gets it inside the 5-yard line. It's close to the end zone, and I see no signal from the official to say touchdown. So give him. It's still on the ground. A spiked ball with 46 seconds left, and Mountain View will discuss it. That brings up first down and goal to make it now second down and goal. Board says 3rd and 10. That's incorrect. And looking to see the mark on the ball. It looks like it's about on the, what is that, the 2-yard line. And Walk hands off up the middle. It's stuffed up and short. Not Madsen on the carry. It was instead number 24, Tyler Stoddard, the ball carrier. No gain there for Stoddard. 3rd down and goal to go. Loaded up backfield. Hand off to Stoddard again, and again he's stopped, this time maybe for a loss of 1. 4th and goal on the 2-yard line. Make it the 3-yard line for Mountain View. They've given it to Stoddard twice. 34-0, 12 seconds left. Does Mountain View take a timeout here, or do they let the half run out? It appears they will take a timeout with 4 seconds left and have 1 play left when we come back. Actually, we'll keep it right here for now as they give it to Tyler Stoddard. Well, we're all caught up on breaks here in the Big Country Properties second quarter. Tyler Stoddard gets the last 2 carries for no gain, and what I have is a loss of 1 yard. On the most recent one, they had 3 backs in behind Braden Walk, rarely working from under center. They had a real goal line offense set up there. And Lyman, up the middle, they've done pretty good, about as good as I've seen anyone do against this Mountain View rush team. Now, of course, there's been some big plays for touchdowns. There's including that 50-yard screen pass, which was basically a run play. But, you got to kind of grade it on a scale here, as Mountain View has disposed of teams this year by, let's run it through the totals. 41-0, 52-6, 47-0, 35-0, and 55-12 last week. And all but 6 of those points have come against the JV defense for Mountain View. You got to grade it on a scale. I think Mountain View has had a little bit of trouble running against Lyman today. Here we come out. 4 seconds left. And 4th and goal, Tiancum Pacola setting up for the field goal. It would be a 13-yard plus about 7. We're at the 10. Make it a 20-yard field goal attempt for Tiancum Pacola to end the second quarter. The kick is up. It's in through the uprights and good. The half ends 37-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mountain View pitching another shutout, this time against cross-county rival Lyman. This is a First Bank presentation of Bridger Valley football, live and online at mylocalradio.com with the simulcast on KNYN 99.1 FM.
Whatever you need, it's likely that Bradshaw's and Lyman can help. Whether it's windows at home or new glass in your car, truck, SUV, or semi, Bradshaw's has it. Tires? Yes. All vehicles, ATVs, semis, and more. Bradshaw's offers a 24-hour towing service for everything large to small. And the Bradshaw Fitness Center is open 24/7. There's more, so always call Bradshaw's first. Whatever you need, it's likely they can help. 307-787-3450. Again, that's 307-787-3450.
If you can't give your dentist a 5-star rating, then you ought to consider making your next dental appointment with Dr. McKay Frankham. One patient said, "The best experience I've ever had at a dentist." Other customer comments include 5 stars plus. And not only is Dr. Frankham the best dentist I've ever been to, but I can actually afford to have dental work done by Dr. Frankham. Make your next dental visit a 5-star experience. Call for an appointment today at 307-789-8910.
Because of you, I feel not alone in this world. And you let me know that it only takes one person to make you feel wanted.
Light up your world with a custom-built LED sign from Rocky Mountain Sign in Evanston. It's a proven fact that signage that lights up creates more attention. So light it up and then add text, images, and video, and your sign becomes even more powerful. Start sharing your advertising messages and information with your customers today. The team at Rocky Mountain Sign provides all types of quality signage that is custom-built and maintained. Call today for a free quote. Rocky Mountain Sign, 307-789-5202. Rocky Mountain Sign, serving customers in Wyoming, Utah, and Idaho.
We hope you're enjoying this MyLocalRadio.com exclusive broadcast of Bridger Valley Sports. We love being able to travel around the state to bring the action on the field or court back to you watching at home. Let's face it, doing all of this would not be possible without all of our great sponsors. We appreciate the support the following businesses and individuals show to both Mountain View and Lyman Sports. Jeff Piper and Farmers Insurance in Evanston. Whether it's home, life, renters, auto, or more, Jeff Piper is your one-stop shop for all of your insurance needs. Black's Fork Dental, top-of-the-line dentistry available right in your backyard. Thank you to all of our Bridger Valley sports sponsors.
Serving Wyoming since 1941, Plains Tire is Wyoming's oldest and largest tire dealer with great locations throughout the state. They'll get you the right tires and offer the best results for your vehicle at the lowest prices, guaranteed. Plus, you can go to any Plains Tire Pro dealer with their nationwide warranty service. And check out their Plains Tire phone app.
Come down and see us at Plains Tires on 157 Bear River Drive for all your automotive needs. Hablamos también español.
Welcome into the Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness halftime show. Whatever it is, it's probably Bradshaw's who you need to call to help you out. They also they have auto and home glass repair. That's one thing to know, that it's not just auto glass that you can get repaired there. If you need some interior glass done, that Bradshaw's can help you there. They've got 24-hour towing. They've got a fitness center that never closes. Like I said, whatever it is you need, you probably need to call Bradshaw's. 37-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mountain View pitching another shutout. And this is in a rivalry contest where Lyman came out looking pretty stout in defense and actually made a goal line stand. They did succeed those final 3 points to Tiancampacola on the 20-yard field goal. However, it has not been as easy sledding as it's been for so many teams against Mountain View, for Mountain View against those so many defenses. Lyman's been holding tough, and looks like a rivalry contest out there today. I've got a lot of yards to add up for Mountain View. I've got them with 241 passing yards, and then add another 133 on the ground for 374 total. And 37 points on Lyman's side. I've not quite got those added up yet, but there's been a lot of negative gains. They still don't have a completed pass, so that's not helping out matters. I've got Hagen Lamoureux with 23 yards. However, Carter Smith has been having a go of it as he's down negative 15 and then negative 2 for Richie Brewer. In all, I have Lyman with just 6 total yards in the half. That's actually 2 less than they exited the first quarter with, and then no passing yards as well and no points. That being said, Lyman's defense has been on the field that whole time. That's been the real story of the day, is how they've been trying to hold that, and Mountain View's big plays have just added up, and Lyman's not really been able to get anything going offensively, which has just extended the opportunities Mountain View's had. Well, so far, we have a 4-yard touchdown from Kimball Matson, a 17-yard pass completion to Brigham Blumel, a 26-yard touchdown run for Braden Walk, a 63-yard completion on a screen pass to Trevor Sweeney, a 50-yard pass to Kimball Matson on a little wide receiver clear-out screen pass that went for a touchdown, and then the 20-yard field goal by Tiancampacola to finish out the first half. That was 37 points to none for Lyman, and I believe it's 40 points is the running clock rule in Wyoming after the half, so Lyman will try to stave off that and try to get something moving as they come out for the second half here in about 6.5 minutes from now. Now let's run through the stats. After I gave Hagen Lamoureux, Carter Smith, and Preston Brewer's stats, that's all we have for Lyman. Let's give them individually for Mountain View. 73 yards and a couple of scores for Kimball Matson on the ground. 59 yards and a touchdown for Braden Walk on 7 carries. -1 yards on 2 carries for Tyler Stoddard. Brigham Blumel with 1 carry for 2 yards. Braden Walk, I have him as being 9 for 13 today with 234 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. And those passes have been completed to Brigham Blumel. He has 3 catches and a score for 64 yards. Trevor Sweeney with 5 catches for 91 yards and a touchdown. Kimball Matson, 1 catch for a touchdown of 50 yards. And Caleb Knudsen, 1 catch for 36 yards. We will now take a break here on the Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness halftime show and come back with Hunter Gross, senior defensive end and left tackle for the Mountain View Buffs, when we return on a First Bank presentation of Mountain View and Lyman football, live and online at mylocalradio.com.
The best live coverage of local sports, weather, local news, and radio classifieds, plus online streaming music, giveaways, and more. It's all on mylocalradio.com. Watch as your high school teams clash with their biggest rivals. Listen to the latest from your team's coaches. Catch up on local and regional news and stream your favorite music. Visit mylocalradio.com. Like us on Facebook and stream it all live.
Your mobility affects every aspect of your life. When you suffer from an injury that decreases your mobility, or maybe you're just noticing that you're having a harder time balancing and your flexibility isn't what it used to be, call Randy Christofferson at Achieve Sports Medicine. Randy will work with you to improve your overall health by reducing pain and improving mobility. Schedule your appointment today by calling 307-747-4627. Achieve Sports Medicine in Lyman. No excuses, just results.
I have Hunter Gross with me, a senior on the Mountain View Buffs football team, and we'll get to FFA a little bit later. You're the vice president on that as well. Let's start with football. This season, you have surpassed the halfway mark, sitting at, what are we at, 5-0 on the year. How's the year been going from your perspective in the teams?
So far, I feel like we're doing pretty good. We're really enjoying this season. We're all working together. And I think we're all kind of determined to make this season the best season we've had so far, just since it's our last season. But so far, I think we're all just loving it and just playing to have fun, and I really enjoy that.
You know, you guys have been playing together at the varsity level for some time now. Several of you are going into your 3rd year as starters, or I don't know, maybe you were starting as a freshman as well. Does it seem like a long time, or has it gone by pretty quickly?
My freshman and sophomore year, it was really slow, and I actually really didn't enjoy football my freshman year. But from our junior year and this year, it's flying by so quickly. It's crazy how time can just go by in a blink of an eye.
What changed for you with your appreciation of the sport?
Just the love of it that I obtained with it. Because my freshman year, we were the red team, so we got hit a lot and really taken out of. But since it flipped to us really becoming the varsity team and experiencing just being that unity and being with the whole team, it's really changed my perspective on it, and I really enjoy it now. I just love football, and it's been my sport through all of high school.
It's getting to that time of the season where I see pictures of people where they're hunting as the sun comes up on Facebook and all that, and you're a hunter as well. Have you been out? What do you do? What's your favorite? What's your weapon of choice? All that stuff.
I really enjoy hunting. My favorite animal to hunt is deer hunting season. I love it so much. I just hunt with a standard .308 just because it's a weapon that is very accurate, and I've just always hunted with it through the past 4 or 5 years that I've been able to hunt. And I just love being out in the nature and getting the chance to shoot a deer. It's just such a rush, and I just love the feeling.
What did you say your weapon of choice was again?
.308.
Okay, and why is that the one? I mean, I guess it's a pretty standard operating mechanic, but how long have you been using that?
I've had it since I was 12, and it wasn't really my choice. It was just a weapon that my dad actually handed down to me. So it's kind of like a family heirloom. That's the word I'm looking for. So it wasn't really just me wanting it. It was handed down to me, and I've just hunted with it ever since.
Why is deer season your favorite?
It's just so competitive, and the seasons are so short now that it's really hard to get a deer in a certain time. So you really got to put your time in, and you really got to go out and go to the nasty parts of the back roads of Wyoming to really get yourself a good deer.
Now, as far as FFA, let's switch over to this. You said you're the vice president of the club. Is that correct?
Correct.
What is, you said you were from a ranch, so you got that background, but what do you like about FFA in particular?
I like the community of it. FFA is really home-based, and everyone's there wanting to help you benefit yourself and benefit everyone there. And it's really, what's the word I'm looking for? Friendly and helpful. If you're struggling with anything or not sure of a subject, even if it's not related to FFA, the members in FFA are wanting to help you and wanting you to grow and become a better person.
And you don't do livestock in FFA. You have livestock on your ranch, but your, I guess I wanted to say subjects, but your events, what are they? What do you do in FFA?
So what I do when we travel for FFA is I do the ag mechanics team, and that involves us welding different plates together for different scenarios. We also do equipment identification along with parts and tool identification. So then we can describe what tools do this, what tools are named this, and what parts will do different things on like a tractor or a baler.
Let's jump back to football for a bit. Now, you look like a guy who's coming from ranch stock. You're big, you're strong, you love playing defensive end, you love wreaking havoc on both sides of the ball. Is this something you're ready to say goodbye to, or are you looking to the next level to try to get an opportunity to continue playing football?
Football will always have a special spot in my heart, and I really, really want to play in the second level. It's just really hard because it's a lot of time and it's very committing, but I feel like if I did get the opportunity to get a scholarship anywhere, I would really take it, and let me phrase that, I would really look at it and really consider taking it because I just love the sport, and it's kind of like my release for the day, and it really helps me out.
As far as what you're looking forward to college-wise is like academics, is what's your study that you're looking to go to, and how would that mesh with trying to play and then also study?
Well, if I go to college, which I'm not sure if I want to go to a university or if I want to go to a trade school, if I went to university, I would go into the ag business department, so I would get my either livestock reproduction or my ranch management license so that I would be able to come back and help run the family farm even better than it is now.
And so and then you may go to trade school for the similar reasons of you're looking ahead to what's going to help you most out in the ranching lifestyle.
Yeah, and that would either be getting my welding certificate or going into like diesel mechanics so I can understand the heavy equipment and help just day-to-day repair.
How old were you the first time you operated heavy machinery?
I was probably 8, I believe.
Of course, off road or anything. We're just talking about in the field, right?
Yes, out in the field. I wasn't really a brave enough driver to drive on the road until I was 14, 15. So.
And of course, licensed and all that by that time, right? I won't ask you to answer that one. Got Hunter Gross Sr. with me, defensive end and left tackle. If you had to pick one, which side of the ball would you go?
Definitely defense. Defense to me is so much funner to play, and you get a lot bigger and harder hits on defense. So.
And you get to be the aggressor on defense, don't you?
Correct. And that's where I excel the most because I consider myself a fairly aggressive kid, and on offense you kind of have to control that and not let it really explode, but on defense you can just let all havoc loose and just do whatever you kind of want.
Well, Hunter, good luck down the last 3 weeks of this regular season and into the playoffs. We know we'll be following you throughout. So it's Hunter Gross Sr. for Mountain View. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably going to turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
That's it for the Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness halftime show. Thank you to them, offering auto and home glass repair, 24-hour towing, a fitness center that never closes. Whatever you need, you probably need to call Bradshaw's. The opening kickoff of the second half is something we can't say up until this point. Is Braxton Saby booting it deep for Lyman, and out to the 20-yard line. It's bobbled by Knutson, still moving back, picks it up at the 11-yard line, breaks through one tackle, spins through another, back to the 15-yard line, and maybe to the 17, where Mountain View will start its opening drive. Well, 11:46 left in the third quarter, just 14 seconds in, and Mountain View out onto the field at the 17-yard line. looking to get another score on the board. It's 37-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. And just a note here, the running clock rule in Wyoming sets into effect at 45 points. So Mountain View 8 points away of a differential of getting that working here at 2:23 p.m. on KNYN 99.1. Braden Walk hands off to Knutson up the right side to the 20-yard line, pushed out of bounds. A flag in the backfield will probably bring it back as Knutson's tackled down by Hagen Lamoureux at the 24-yard line. It's in the backfield by head official Al Smith out of Evanston. We've got an Evanston crew, and it is holding in the backfield. From the spot of the foul, which might be behind the line of scrimmage. The flag is down at the 15-yard line, which would push it back to about the 5. There are, yes, indeed, 10 yards back for Mountain View. They get it back at the 7-yard line. First down and 20 to go on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Shotgun form, empty back set. 5 receivers. Madsen in the right side as a slot receiver. Now into motion. Takes the handoff. No, it's faked. Walk keeps it up the middle. Back to the 10-yard line, and that's where the play stalls. Braden Walk gets a couple of yards up the middle. He is past the 60-yard marker. On the day, I have him at 62 on his first carry of the third. Well, you got second down and, let's say, 17 to go here on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. About 43, 44 degrees out here. Sunny and about 20 degrees warmer than when I got here at 9 a.m. Walking an empty back. Looks to throw. Looks to his right. Still no options. Up the middle. A wide open Kimball Madsen catches it at the 38-yard line. On his way down the field. All the way into the end zone to score a 90-yard touchdown Buffs. 10:23 on the clock as Mountain View puts up yet another score on this, just their second play officially of the drive. A 93-yard drive takes just 2 plays. A 90-yard score for Kimball Madsen. He did not have any reception touchdowns coming into the year or into this week, and he now has 2. Also has a touchdown run of 4 yards on the day, and it's 43-0. Now to go for 2 and to get the running clock moving. Walk out up the middle. Luke Branson had it popped out of his hands and then brings it back in. On the near break up, it was Alex Bradshaw, but Branson was able to take it in, and 10:23. It's 45-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board, and it's a 45-point lead and a running clock. We'll be back after this on the First Bank presentation of the Bridger Bowl on mylocalradio.com and KNYN 99.1 FM.
My name is Dr. Micah Pullins. I'm an orthopedic surgeon at Evanston Regional Hospital. Orthopedic surgery is the practice of medicine centered around bones and joints. It's all about movement and activity and getting that to be less painful. Watching a patient with a specific problem, whether that's pain or decreased range of motion, and being able to treat them, by far the best part of my job.
Another touchdown for Mountain View puts Braden Walk at 324 yards on the day. Coming into the season through the air, I had him at 639. 7 touchdowns, 1 interception. And now with his 3rd touchdown of the day, that makes him 10 on the year, both through the air and with 1 rushing touchdown on the ground. 20 touchdowns for Braden Walk on the season. And Kimball Madsen, he has 1 through the air, or 1 on the ground and 2 through the air. That puts his total up to 13 total scores on the season. Deancum Picola set to kick off, and he sends it straight away down to the right sideline, fielded at the 10 by Richie Brewer. Up the far sideline, getting past the 20, out to about the 25-yard line. A 93-yard drive takes 1 minute and 25 seconds of clock as it starts at 11:48 and ends at 10:23. And the clock is running at 45-0. The ball marked at, let's say, the 27-yard line. Not bad field position for Lyman. That's where they started their last drive. It resulted in a punt. They have just one first down on the day. And that was on a penalty for a false start, or offsides rather. The first play from scrimmage at the 27, a handoff from Carter Smith to Lamoureux out to the 29-yard line. Give him 2 yards on the carry. Handoff again, back to Lamoureux, working his way, trying to get to the 30-yard line. Looks like he's a little bit shy again there. And third down and 8 to go as he's still on that 29-yard line. 25 yards for Lamoureux. That's in all not even 10 yards of total offense, all things considered, for Lyman today. Handoff faked. It's straight up the middle for Carter Smith. The flag comes in the backfield as Smith is brought down at about the 31-yard line. Wait to see where that comes up against. Maybe a face mask that would help out Lyman there. The clock is stopped at 8:53, and do we have an injury? Yes, we do, because I was going to say the clock only stops for touchdowns, and it's Carter Smith holding his left knee. That's not a good thing. There's a fine junior who we heard from in the pregame in the look around the valley. The quarterback and linebacker is down at the 30-yard line, trying to get helped up by Coach Dale Anderson and limping off. It's the left knee of Smith. Clock stopped at 8:53. With the running clock, you have play stopping for touchdowns, injuries, and then timeouts is just about it. I think I'm missing one thing there. Chevy Fackrell comes out as it looks like he's the backup quarterback, a sophomore at 5'9", 170 pounds. Fackrell on the season. See if I've got anything down for him listed in for stats. I think he's had 1 carry today maybe. Or maybe that was a tackle. No, he had a tackle today. Did not have any stats on record for Chevy Fackrell, who now comes out to man the quarterback position. So Fackrell quarterback and Lamoureux. Smith in a lot of pain right now as he goes to the sideline. Low snap and a keeper for Fackrell on third down and about 3 to go. Looks like he got nowhere and loses 2 yards. Well, add Fackrell in there. And unfortunately for him, the Lyman offense, he gets a -2, and it's 4th down and 5 to go. Back to punt is Brewer, and Blumel and Sweeney back to receive at the 33-yard line. Ball set up at the right hash mark. Snap upcoming, clock at 8:10. And a fake snap. You've got Lamoureux out to the left, or a fake punt rather. Lamoureux to the 30, looking to get to the 35, stops shy. And it's a turnover on downs on the fake punt by Lamoureux. He gains about 3 yards on the carry, but needed to get about 5. Madsen on the tackle there. Clock continues to roll as the Mountain View Buffs offense rolls on out with its backups. You got Tyler Peterson at quarterback. And add him in there, and we've got is probably Tanner Collins. Yes, we do. Tanner Collins at running back. Got the second unit in with the running clock going for Mountain View. That puts Purser at right tackle. See if we can get any more of those in a little bit. Handoff to Tanner Collins. Ball was marked at the 35-yard line, and looks like he lost a yard on the play. See if they give him back to the initial line of scrimmage. Other guys up in the offensive line there. We've got number 70, Trevor Condis, at left guard. And number 56 at the right guard position, that is Hudson Heisel. See if we can get a couple more in there. 2nd down and 11 on the -1 yard run by Collins. Handoff, no, kept by Peterson. Back to the line of scrimmage and give the yard back to Tyler. 1 yard gain, 3rd down and 10. 6.5 minutes and ticking down this third quarter, halfway through. In the fourth quarter, brought to you by Jeff Piper and Farmers Insurance for Mountain View. Again, will be a quick one. As we saw last week covering Mountain View, we'll be on the road with Lyman next week as they head to Grable in a very important conference matchup a win against Grable, and they are in great position, Lyman, despite what happens today, to make it to the playoffs after a 2-year drought. 3rd down and 10 to go. Shotgun formation, 3 to the left side, and a direct snap to Tanner Collins. He loses a yard again, and it's 3rd down. Now make it 4th down and 11. And the ball's at the 36-yard line, 4th down, and the punt unit comes out. That is, looks like Kimball Matson still at back to punt. And Kimball has not punted in 3 weeks, I think. The last time Kimball punted, I believe, was in Thermopolis. I don't think he punted last week. Maybe he did punt in the second half, actually, unless I think it was marked down in Wild Preps by Picola. Yeah. So, yeah, Madsen's first punt in 2 or 3 weeks is about 20. I'd say went out of bounds pretty early, actually. It went out touchdown about the 20, but it was out of bounds well before that. Down at the 32-yard line. Kimball Madsen like I said, came out to punt in Thermopolis. I think they punted once or twice last week, but it was Tiankum Picola who sent those away if they did punt. No punts at all, just turnovers, that's right, yeah. They had a couple of turnovers in that. Ball marked at the 32-yard line. Handoff, right side, and Chevy Fackrell gives it to Lamoureux, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. I think that was Lamoureux. That might have been someone else, actually. That might have been Saby. That was Braxton Saby with the carry. They mark it as a no gain there for Saby. 2nd down and 10 at the 32-yard line. Chevy takes the handoff, or takes the snap and keeps it himself out to the 30-yard line. He loses a couple trying to work out to the right and make it 3rd down and 12 to go. Negative 2-yard run there for Chevy. 3rd down and 12, 3:50 and ticking away. Got a couple of guys practicing long snapping on the Lyman sideline. Casey Simpson long snapping to Cody Richardson, freshman to a sophomore. 2nd unit out, pretty much all the way around for Mountain View. You got 3rd and 12. Quarterback keeper by Fackrell. Right up the middle and back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. 4th down and 12 to go. Punt upcoming. Clock continues to roll down to about 3 minutes by the time the punt comes in. Brigham Blumel and Trevor Sweeney will move back to receive. So Mountain View's into the playoffs. As I mentioned, only Big Piney can finish with a better record at this point in conference play than Mountain View with their 4th win in after this contest is completed, assuming that we finish at the total that we have in a running clock most of the way through. Fake punt, and, well, they were just going for it all the way, actually, and it's incomplete. Intended out for Paxton Garner. Was off at about the 35-yard line, and they needed to get about 2-3 yards past where that ball hit the ground. So a turnover on downs gives the ball at the 30-yard line to Mountain View. Back-to-back fake punts for Lyman. Ball on the 30 for Mountain View we've got 2 minutes and 15 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Shotgun formation for Peterson. Fakes a handoff to the receiver in motion, then gives it off to Collins. He loses a couple, and Tanner Collins having a rough go of it. And not surprising, as Lyman's main rushing defense is still in there, and they were stopping up Braden Walk and Kimball Matson at moments when they would try to get through the middle of the defense. I have to say, the defensive front for Lyman's looked pretty good today. It's just the problem of when it gets outside, Mountain View has much superior speed. 2nd down and 12 and a direct keeper. Peterson loses a couple. Brought down at about the 34-yard line. Hunter Gines on the breakdown. Actually, no, that was Hagan Lamoureux on the takedown there. Loses another 2 on the carry. Third down and actually make it 15. The ball was marked down for a loss of 3 on the play. 3rd and 15, down to 1 minute left. Peterson in the shotgun at the 40-yard line awaiting the snap. Collins to his left. See if they continue to run. It's an option. Keeper for Peterson up to the 35-yard line, down to the 30, inside to the 27. Still will be well short of a first down, but a decent gain there of, let's say, about 7 yards, a 5 plus 4. 9-yard carry for Peterson. Puts him back into the positive side of things, and Tiancum Pecola is back to maybe try a deep field goal. You got Walk holding at the 35-yard line. We got a 45-yard field goal. This will be an interesting one. See where Pecola's range is at. You do have a breeze out there. It's a cold day, a hard football to kick. Snap is up, kick is short and a little to the left. So no good on the 45-yard attempt by Pecola, but nothing hurt. That's the end of the third quarter. The Jeff Piper and Farmers Insurance of Evanston. Fourth quarter on your way next. 307-789-5489, the number to call, Jeff Piper. We'll be back. 45-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mountain View rolling over Lyman here in the Bridger Valley Bowl on the First Bank presentation on MyLocalRadio.com and KNYN 99.1 FM.
We hope you're enjoying this MyLocalRadio.com exclusive broadcast of Bridger Valley Sports. We love being able to travel around the state to bring the action on the field or court back to you watching at home. Let's face it, doing all of this would not be possible without all of our great sponsors. We appreciate the support the following businesses and individuals show to both Mountain View and Lyman Sports. Dr. McKay Frankham, quality dental care at affordable prices. Yeager's Auto Body. For nearly 45 years, Yeager's Auto Body in Green River has been at the top of the game in auto repair. West Star Printing in Evanston. No matter what you want printed, West Star is where you want it done. Reese Auto Service. From lawnmowers and snowblowers to cars, trucks, and semis, Reese Auto Service in Lyman does it all. Trona Valley Credit Union, member NCUA. Plains Tire in Evanston, Wyoming's oldest and largest tire dealer. Thank you to all of our Bridger Valley sports sponsors.
Fourth quarter just starts, and the opening play is a 6-yard gain for Lyman. Who do we have on the carry there? Was that Saby or was it Chevy? Chevy Fackrell on the carry for 5 yards. And handoff up the middle to Saby. Gets out to about the 27-yard line. A quick start there in the fourth quarter as we welcome you into the Jeff Piper and Farmers Insurance fourth quarter. 3rd down and 3 to go. A 2-yard gain by Saby there. Out at the 27-yard line. Need to get about 3 more yards out to the 30, just beyond. Fackrell keeps it, looking forward to that marker, and he got there, but was it just enough? Because he's at the 30, and they needed to get just beyond the 30, so it's 4th and inches. He gets the 3 needed, but not the 3 and 3 inches. Now they change it. Now it's a first down, so amend that. It was a delayed call there from 4th and inches. And a keeper up the middle for a no gain. It was a handoff, rather, to Saby for the no gain. Fourth quarter brought to you by Jeff Piper and Farmers Insurance. Jeff knows insurance, and he'll break it all down for you so it makes sense and you can figure out how to best protect what's important to you. No huddle offense here for Fackrell. And again, Carter Smith going down injured. That's a big storyline for Lyman trying to make a playoff push. Quarterback keeper for Fackrell out to about the 32-yard line. And as I see him now up on his own 2 feet, well, 1.5 feet, he's got the left leg kind of bent, not putting too much weight on there, but Carter is standing. That's a big storyline if he has to miss next week, because Lyman is in good position with finishing out the season against Grable and Big Piney. 2 teams they can certainly take down and beat. Big Piney lost to Cokeville opening week of the year. And Lyman lost to Cokeville. Comparable scores there. Back to throw. Fackrell airs it out. Looking deep at the 40-yard line. Incomplete. Intended for Alex Bradshaw. On third down and long. Brings up 4th and 7 to go. Ball marked at the 40 or at the 33-yard line. And no reason to not go for it here. Saby in the backfield to the right of the shotgun. 4 receivers, 2 either side. Looking out right, Fackrell has a slant to Bradshaw. It's picked off nearly by Tanner Collins at the 50-yard line. He drops it, but breaks it up nonetheless. And a turnover on downs. The clock continuing to roll here in the Jeff Piper Farmers Insurance fourth quarter at about 8:45 to go. Jeff serving the Bridger Valley, Evanston, and Southwest Wyoming. Give him a call at 789-5489, your local farmer's agent, Jeff Piper. Turns the ball over for a third consecutive time for Lyman, as they're just trying to get something down the stretch for a little to work with. Peterson at the 34-yard line, quarterback keeper, spun around by Hanson Bradshaw and brought down for a loss at about the 34-yard line. Line of scrimmage was at the 33. At the 35, a loss of 2 there. Good tackle there by Hanson. Into the game for Lyman is Matt Wolford at the D-line tackle, positioned in for Richie Brewer. Shotgun form, 2 receivers either way. Collins to the right of the gun. Hanson Bradshaw getting a breather out and maybe get some grass out of his helmet after that big tackle. Collins takes a direct snap. It makes it about a yard or 2, brought down by M.J. Richardson at about the 33-yard line. Back to the initial line of scrimmage after the pickup of 2. It's 3rd down and 10 to go. Tanner Collins had a great run last week, but that was against Pinedale. He's not really found any space against this Lyman varsity that's playing with a lot of pride right now, down 45-0. And on the Benedict's Market and True Value scoreboard. Peterson and Collins in the backfield. Peterson the gun. 6:55 left in the fourth quarter, brought to you by Jeff Piper and Farmers Insurance. Stay tuned post-game as we'll hand out the Dr. McKay Franklin Precision play of the game, and it was a good one today. Again, a direct snap to Peterson, or to Collins rather, and he picks up about a yard or 2 down to the 32-yard line. 4th down and 9 to go, and they'll try another long field goal. No, Kimball Matson comes out to punt rather. Matson sets up at about the 45-yard line to punt it away. Blake Palmer at the 13-yard line to see if he can get a return here. There's not a lot of space to work with. Matson certainly trying to find one sideline or another, maybe a little bit of practice time here. Looking ahead for Mountain View, which is about to clinch a playoff berth in the 2A spot. Tries to get a coffin corner kick down on the right sideline, but it goes end over end and rolls into the end zone for a touchback. Lyman takes over on the 20-yard line. As the clock continues to roll, as it's a 45-point differential, we'll probably be at about 5 minutes and 30 seconds when Lyman finally takes a snap, as they are quick working out. Already their second drive of the 4th. Snap comes at 5:28 to go, and it's a handoff, or a keeper rather, by Fackrell for a gain of 1 or 2. See if that pile to, it is Chevy Fackrell making the carry. Ball marked at the 21-yard line, so a gain of, 22, a gain of 2 yards for Fackrell on the carry. One back set. Handoff out right side, and it's a no gain for Braxton Saby on the play. Actually, that's a different runner. That's number 10, and I don't have a number 10 for Lyman. A no gain or a new player out there. No doubt a freshman or sophomore. We just don't have on the roster. Chevy Fackrell hands off to Saby on 3rd down and long, and he breaks it open to the 35, make it the 39-yard line. A big gain on 3rd down for Braxton Saby. That's the biggest play of the day for Lyman as they get it out to the 40-yard line. An 18-yard gain for Braxton Saby. 20 yards for him on 4 carries. And that clock continues to roll down to about 4 minutes. But Saby gets congratulations as he heads down to the sideline after the biggest offensive play of the day for Lyman. Handoff again to that number 10. Gain of about 1 or 2 yards on the play. And that's a 2-yard no gain by Ashton Housekeeper. Ball marked at the 40-yard line. So 2 no gains for Ashton, and that's that number 10 that I wasn't quite sure on. 2nd and 10 to go at the 40, and in the backfield. He's brought down for a loss of probably 2. The handoff there. It was either to Saby or Housekeeper. Couldn't see there. Loss of 1, and it's 3rd down on the 39-yard line. And it was Saby on the carry. Down to 3 minutes. And a 1st down by their own volition of Lyman has them working at the 39-yard line, but 3rd down and 11 to go. Snap is over the head of Chevy Fackrell down at the 23, make it the 27-yard line. And that's a drive killer as Lyman was trying to get something working there to close out the contest. Down to the 27-yard line from the 39. End up losing on that play, 12 yards. That puts Fackrell in the negatives, and why not go for it? You got a long ways to go. Ball on the 27-yard line. And a handoff to Saby up the middle. He'll get maybe a yard or 2. And they'll mark it down at the 29-yard line. A 2-yard gain for Saby. 21 yards for Saby. And Fackrell had some positive yards working, but with that, as he slides down on a play, the snap goes over his head. It brings him into the negatives. Overall, a lot of negative plays are going to skew these Lyman statistics, but the fact remains this is as tight of a defensive performance yardage-wise as Mountain View has had all season. We'll add those numbers up at the end of the contest. Under center, Tyler Peterson is set to take a couple of knees to end this contest. And we'll finish out 45-0, 1:30 on the clock. And 1 snap taken and a knee down by Tyler Peterson. And you'll probably need to take 1 more here at least. And always got to remember, is it a 40-second play clock in high school now, or is it still at that 25 it used to be? So that probably makes it at 2, as we're about 1:05 right now. You can take 1 now and bring it down under 40 and then take 1 more, and that should be the end of the contest. Under a minute, and these negative plays will do very little to finish out what's been an offensive showcase for Mountain View, as well as a defensive stuffing. And on the Lyman side, it's really just been a matter of that defensive side. They played well in between the tackles. It's just a matter of when Mountain View found space on the outside, their speed was, it's second to none. And that's it. The final snap and knee is taken. And that does it. For Mountain View, they advance on to 6-0 on the season. 2 games left in Kemmer next week, and to finish out against Grable on senior night 2 weeks from today. The final, 45-0. Mountain View pitches another shutout in the Bridger Bowl 2019 on this First Bank presentation of Mountain View and Lyman football, live and online at mylocalradio.com.
The best live coverage of local sports, weather, local news, and radio classified, plus online streaming music, giveaways, and more. It's all on MyLocalRadio.com. Watch as your high school teams clash with their biggest rivals. Listen to the latest from your team's coaches. Catch up on local and regional news and stream your favorite music. Visit MyLocalRadio.com. Like us on Facebook and stream it all live.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
If you want your truck to really catch the eye, have the professionals at Plains Tire in Evanston install a custom lift kit with new tires and wheels. We've got a huge selection to choose from, so no matter what your style is, we've got the tires and wheels to make you smile. The way your truck looks reflects on you. Get the reflection you want with a lift kit, new tires, and wheels from Plains Tire in Evanston, the tire professionals. 157 Bear River Drive. Stop in today.
Hello, this is Dr. McKay Franklin. Something I've really enjoyed as a dentist over the past 20 years are the lasting friendships that I've formed with many of my patients. My staff is really great, and we try hard to make sure that every patient feels a warm welcome. It doesn't matter if it's your first visit or if you've been with us for years. Every patient is welcome and always appreciated. Our goal is to provide the best dental care possible at reasonable rates. Please call us today to schedule your appointment at 307-789-8910.
Go Red Devils!
We hope you're enjoying this MyLocalRadio.com exclusive broadcast of Bridger Valley Sports. We love being able to travel around the state to bring the action on the field or court back to you watching at home. Let's face it, doing all this would not be possible without all of our great sponsors. We appreciate the support the following businesses and individuals show to both Mountain View and Lyman Sports. Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness. Whatever it is you need, Bradshaw's can probably help. The Come On In of Casper. When it comes time to cheer on your Buffs or Eagles at state, the Come On In is your best bet for a great night's stay. Auto Farm Chevrolet in Evanston. General Manager Dennis Lynch invites you to come and experience a community-driven dealership. Evanston Regional Hospital. Quality health care close to home. Bridger Valley Motor. Got a check engine light blinking? Don't guess at what the problem is. Take it to Slim at Bridger Valley Motor in Lyman. And Achieve Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy. No excuses, just results. Thank you to all of our Bridger Valley sports sponsors.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Your mobility affects every aspect of your life. When you suffer from an injury that decreases your mobility, or maybe you're just noticing that you're having a harder time balancing and your flexibility isn't what it used to be, call Randy Christofferson at Achieve Sports Medicine. Randy will work with you to improve your overall health by reducing pain and improving mobility. Schedule your appointment today by calling 307-747-4627. Achieve Sports Medicine in Lyman. No excuses, just results.
Well, thank you to Jeff Piper and Farmers Insurance in Evanston for sponsoring that fourth quarter. We'll get your ad in just a bit as we didn't have any breaks and no stoppages to play with the running clock. The final score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board is 45-0. Mountain View pitches another shutout on the season. In all, that's 4 shutouts in 6 contests, with the 52-6 win over Big Piney and the 55-12 win over Pinedale, the only times they've allowed points. And as we mentioned in pregame, the only varsity touchdown they've allowed was week 2 against Big Piney. Well, for Lyman on the other side, they go down to 3-3 on the season, and more importantly, they are now at 2-2 on the conference season, which puts them into a tie with Pinedale. However, with the head-to-head victory, Lyman is still on top top of Pinedale in that conference standings. You need to finish top 4 out of 7 to make the playoffs, and now the road ahead becomes maybe a little bit murkier for Lyman as we wait upon the final results and what the prognosis is on the left knee of Carter Smith. That's a big cog for that team. He came into the game with 238 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns on the ground, 302 through the air on 11 of 18, and 3 touchdowns through that as well. So, he is at the center of this offense, and if he can't go, then you have to wonder how next week looks against Graybull and then against Big Piney, which is sitting at 3-1 in the conference season. For Mountain View, they are into the playoffs. They are at 4-0 in the conference season, 6-0 overall. Nobody can catch them except for Big Piney, and that would require Mountain View to lose out and then Big Piney to win out to finish 5-1, and then Mountain View would finish at either 5-1 or 4-2. But everyone else, no one has a tiebreaker against them outside of that team that could finish ahead of them. So Mountain View is guaranteed a top 4 positioning in, and the way we saw them play today, probably a little bit more. We'll take our first break and then come back with our final stats for both sides and hand out the Dr. McKay Franklin Precision Play of the game here postgame at Lyman High School in this First Bank presentation of Mountain View and Lyman football on mylocalradio.com and on KNY on 99.1 FM.
Making an informed decision when you choose coverage for you, your family, and your home is one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. Jeff Piper, Farmers Insurance Agent in Evanston, is here to help you get the coverage that is right for you at the best value. Find out how much you can save each month when you combine home, auto, and life insurance. Call Jeff Piper with Farmers Insurance at 307-789-5489 or stop in at 341 Front Street in Evanston. Jeff Piper, Farmers Insurance.
Time now to hand out our Dr. McKay Franklin Precision Play of the game, and it goes to a guy blocking down the field on a 50-yard touchdown run by Kimball Matson. It goes to Brigham Blue Mel. He was a left side receiver, and that little clear-out screen pass completed at about the 50 to Kimball. He ran down the field, and he's got superior strength, speed, and size, but you know what? He didn't really need all that strength. He just needed the speed because up in front, Brigham Blue Mel, 6-foot, 200-pound receiver, was taking care of the rest. He blocked 3 Lyman defenders down the field single-handedly and opened up that hole for the touchdown for Mountain View, and that was their third touchdown of the day. That came by way of, actually that was their 4th touchdown of the day that went on that pass, maybe even 5th. Oh my goodness, how many did they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was their 5th touchdown late in the second quarter when Kimball got that 50-yard run. Thank you to Braden Bradshaw for running camera for us today. You're good to go. Thank you very much. We'll get that check to you in a week or two. And that's our Dr. McKay Franklin Precision Play of the game. Final stats when we come back on this First Bank presentation of Bridger Valley football on mylocalradio.com.
With mylocalradio.com, you get to stay up to date with Lyman and Mountain View sports by watching all of the games live in the convenience of your own home. Now you get to keep up with your coaches, athletes, and teachers throughout the week with the Bridger Valley Coaches Corner. Weekdays during the school year, the Bridger Valley Coaches Corner will run on KNY and 99.1 FM at 3 p.m. and keep you up to date with the most interesting storylines from Lyman and Mountain View in football, volleyball, basketball, swimming, running, golf, and more. We'll also check in with different students and teachers from the 2 schools throughout the year. 3 p.m. Monday through Friday on KNY and 99.1 FM is the Bridger Valley Coaches Show presented by mylocalradio.com. Stay connected.
Final stats now. We'll start with the victorious team, Mountain View. That finished with 45 points through the air and on the ground, and the air game was really going today. They got about, in Braden Walk, he got about half of his total output through the air coming into this game, in this game alone. He had 639 yards and 7 touchdowns, 1 interception coming into week 6. Well, he goes into week 7 adding 324 yards on 10 of 14 completions and 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He also had 8 carries for 62 yards and a touchdown. Kimball Madsen, he has just 11 carries and is held under 100 yards rarely, but was today, and really the only thing holding him back was the lack of playing time. He didn't play really any of that second half, however. Nod out there to the Lyman interior defense, stuffing up a lot of holes in between the tackles today against a Mountain View offense that really hasn't seen a team do that this year. So Madsen finishes with 73 yards and 1 rushing touchdown. He also has 2 catches for 140 yards and 2 touchdowns through the air, his first 2 reception scores of the season. Also on the ground, Tyler Stoddard goes 2 carries for -1 yards. Tyler Peterson, 8 carries for 2 yards. And Tanner Collins, 5 carries for -1 yards. Out in the distance, just beyond our view, we see Mountain View holding up the Bridger Bowl trophy on Lyman's home field. Continuing down the line, the other men to get receptions today, other than Madsen, Caleb Knutson had 1 catch for 36 yards. Trevor Sweeney, 5 catches for 91 yards and a touchdown of 63. And Brigham Blue Mel, 64 yards on 3 catches and a touchdown. On the Lyman side of things, well, before I get to that, add it all up, 439 yards of total offense for Mountain View on those 45 points. Actually, 459 yards of total offense for Mountain View, actually 2 less than they entered the fourth quarter with. 135 on the ground, 324 through the air. For Lyman now, they finished with just 34 yards of total offense, all on the ground. 25 yards from Hagen Lamoureux and 21 yards by Braxton Saby were then subtracted by -9 yards through Carter Smith, -2 from Preston Brewer, and -4 by Chevy Fackrell. Carter Smith went 0 for 2 throwing, and Chevy Fackrell, who had to spell Carter Smith, went 0 for 3, I believe, through the air, trying to complete some passes late in that fourth quarter. Well, like I said, the big news for Lyman next week is what happens as we wonder and wait on the total, or on the health of Carter Smith with the left knee. And they'll be taking on Grable on the road next week. If he's not available, does that mean Chevy Fackrell is the quarterback? Does that mean Hagen Lamoureux with the full week of practice goes back? He was their quarterback last year. Is that how they do that? A lot of things to be answered as we wonder and wait on the news for Carter Smith. For Mountain View, they take on Kemmer on the road, and Kemmer still looking for a win on the season. Probably going to be hard-pressed to find it against Mountain View's offense playing the way they are. And then both of these teams will close out with Thursday and Friday games. On the 24th of October, we will be here in Lyman to bring you Lyman versus Big Piney. And then on the 25th of October, we'll be here as well. Well, in 6 miles down the road, we'll be in Mountain View to bring you Mountain View versus Grable. So we'll have both of those contests. Tomorrow, we'll have 2 conference dual matches going on as the conference duels start today in Lyman. For volleyball, 3A West will have all of the Southwest taking on all of the Northwest. And tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m., we will have Lyman versus Lovell. And at 1:30 p.m., Mountain View will take on Lander. That does it for our look ahead and future broadcasts, and we've given out the Dr. McKay Franklin Precision Play of the Game, run you through the stats and all of that, so now all that's left is to say so long and thank you for listening to this 2019 edition of the Bridger Bowl on MyLocalRadio.com. I'm Jake Hibbard. We'll see you tomorrow for volleyball.
The proceeding has been a wholly owned production of Cook Brothers Broadcasting and Old West Media, no portion of which may be used or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the aforementioned rights holder. Tonight's executive producer is Val Cook. We appreciate you tuning in to this MyLocalRadio.com exclusive. We would like to take a moment to thank all of our sponsors and partners who make this all possible. And, of course, thank you for tuning in. Check out our website for more information about future Bridger Valley broadcasts or like us on Facebook to stay up to date with the games. Until next time, go Eagles and go Buffs.